Yo, what is up, everybody? Coming at you guys with different video today. It's gonna be a while before I really get out any new trophy videos or any retrospectives. I'm working on them, but it's just gonna be a minute before I can get those out, just because life is busy. I've mentioned this in a video I made not too long ago, just talking about what's going on in my life. You know, got a new job, stuff with family, all that jazz, and so yeah, it's just gonna be a while before I really can commit to like releasing new content like that. And so I guess in the meantime, I figured I would just go over some stuff I kind of had brewing in the back of my mind for a little while now. And so in this video, I'm going to just go over my PS3 collection. I have a ton of physical PS3 games, and I just figured it'd be fun to kind of go through them. You know, talk about my love for these games, why I got these games, because some of these games I just got just because they were cheap. And so yeah, this is probably gonna be a longer video, no real like objective, I guess. And so if you want to just have me up on the second screen, you want to have me up while you're studying or you're cooking or you're just doing menial tasks around the house, I do not mind. We're gonna get this started. I'm not gonna do anything fancy. I'm not gonna have like any like values for how much these games are, because I'm gonna be honest, I'm lazy. I don't really feel like doing all that right now. And so there's that. And then also, I tried my best to do this in alphabetical order. There are probably some games that might be like weird, like not in the right place or whatever. I tried my best, all right. And so yeah, also I don't have a green screen, as you can tell. Just you're seeing all my space, all my room. You're seeing my enormous wall of Funko Pops. That's not even all of them either. So you got the Star Wars poster, the movie poster right there. And so yeah, you're seeing my humble abode, my room. And so anyway, let's get this started with the first game, Alpha Protocol. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know why I got this. I really don't. How much was it? $5.95. I don't know if you're going to see. Yeah, $5.95. Got this at Second and Charles. I think that's the main reason. I had heard about this in like some videos before. It's made by Obsidian. I guess it's like a underrated classic or something. I don't really know. Might play it one day, but yeah, that's the first game that we're going to talk about in the video, Alpha Protocol. This also probably will be a longer video because I have a lot of games here. Just want to throw that out there. If you can tell already by the timestamp, because I don't know how long. I'm only 3 minutes in, so I don't know how long this is going to be. Anyway, next game, Aliens Colonial Marines. As you all know, you don't even have to be an Alien fan to know the horror stories that went on with Aliens Colonial Marines. Stuff at Gearbox, using money for Borderlands. The game's just not good. Alien AI dumb just because of like one error in the code or something. There's a long history behind this game. I think the main reason I got it was because of like I want to make a retrospective on this at some point. Yeah, because I can't get the platinum. There's no multiplayer, or the multiplayer trophies, like the servers, I'm pretty sure either they're offline or it's just not like easy to get. I don't really know. I don't remember. It's been a while since I looked at that guide. But yeah, Aliens Colonial Marines, probably will play this one day whenever I'm just in the mood to cover bad video games. That's the main reason I got it, I believe. Yeah. Next up, we have Assassin's Creed 2. Now, some of these, as you can see, are going to have that pre-owned GameStop case. It is what it is. I would really love one day to kind of replace them with like the actual sleeves of the box art for the game. But yeah, Assassin's Creed 2. And now, as it like another thing you tell on the box is like it's for 20. So back when we were kind of deep into the PS4 generation, there were a lot of like this was still when GameStop had PS3, and I'm pretty sure 360 games at the time too. But I remember this is when I had a job. This is probably deep into maybe 2017, 2018, whatever. And I had money. I didn't have any responsibilities at the time. And so I figured, you know, I got PS3. This 4 for 20 sale. Why not just like, because I would be getting stacks of games at a time. It was ridiculous, dude. Like, I remember one interaction I had with the GameStop worker. I just had like a stack of PS3 games, and they were like, "You trading this in?" I'm like, "Nope, I'm buying these." But yeah, long story short, that's really why. Like I got Assassin's Creed 2. That was part of the 4 for 20 sale. I haven't played the PS3 version. I might get the platinum for this because this one doesn't have anything crazy multiplayer wise. The reason I hesitate there is because I do have the Ezio trilogy for PS4, and so it's just like, do I really need to play this one still? And so I might just for that platinum, even though I have the PS4 version. It's essentially the same game, but yeah, Assassin's Creed 2, PS3. Actually, again, I think I mentioned this. I haven't played this one before. I know a lot of people look at Assassin's Creed 2 as one of the best Assassin's Creed games. I was just too young when this came out, and I just never really found the time to play it. I played the beginning of it like a few years ago, but I just played the beginning. But we're gonna remedy that one day. And following Assassin's Creed 2 is the only other Assassin's Creed game I have on PS3, which is Assassin's Creed 3. I didn't have this originally on PS3. My dad got this one on his Xbox 360, so that's how I played it. Again, this is part of that 4 for 20 sale, so I just got it on the PS3. Haven't played the PS3 version, and to be honest, probably won't play the PS3 version because I have the remastered version on the PlayStation 4, and that one, like, I don't think that one comes with the multiplayer. This one does. Again, the servers might be fine, but it's just like the lobbies are dead, so you got to boost this one. And nowadays, it's just hard for me to kind of boost for games nowadays. And so, yeah, Assassin's Creed 3. I actually really enjoyed Assassin's Creed 3. Again, this is one my dad got on his Xbox. I played it. I liked it. I know a lot of people didn't like. There's a lot of criticism for Assassin's Creed 3. Personally, I don't mind it, but then again, it has been a long time since I played it, and so maybe one of those days I'll check it out again. Next up, this is so funny. Avatar and Avatar. Now, I bet you're wondering, why do I have 2 copies of Avatar? And so back when Way of the Water came out, which was in 2022, that's when I wanted to do the retrospect. That's when I was really getting into YouTube, like making reviews and whatnot. And so I wanted to get into retrospectives. The movie was coming out, so I'm like, why not play the Avatar game back from like when this released in 2009? I played it back in 2009, or probably 2010 actually when I got it, but I never got too far. And so I played it again for the retrospective. That's the very first video I made on the channel, so if you're new here and you just want to check it out or whatever, you can. Very, very first video. I'll also post it in the whatever corner. This should be this corner, I think. One of these corners, I just know that much. But the reason I have 2 copies is because whichever one I got on eBay, one of them, I don't know which one, but one of them the disc, it didn't work. It was corrupt. I don't really remember. And so I tried to get a refund. Well, I did get a refund, but I let the dude know, like, he was like, "What happened?" I'm like, "Oh, the game's not working." He was like, "Oh, you can keep it. I'll just send the money back." And so that's why I have 2 copies of Avatar. The James Cameron Avatar video game. I don't know. It was an interesting game. It was a fun game. Nothing crazy. I really want to play that new Avatar game. I have it. I never got too far in it. But yeah, if you want to know more of my thoughts on Avatar the game, check out that video. Little plug for you guys there. All right, and then we get to some of my favorite video games of all time. We have Batman Arkham Asylum. Again, pre-owned case. It is what it is. But yeah, I love the Arkham games. Arkham Asylum. I played this. I think of all the Arkham games, I have probably played this one the most. I remember when this first came out on the I got for, well, not when it first came out, but I remember playing the demo like a ton as a kid. And then I eventually got it maybe like a year after it came out. My mom got it for me. It was on sale. And yeah, it just kind of completely took over my life for a little while. I played it like back to back 4 times. There's like 4 save slots. I filled up all those save slots. Of course, didn't 100% it because I was like only 9 at the time, or 10, I don't remember. You know, the concept of 100% in games was not even on my radar at the time. And so the Arkham Asylum, again, just I want to get that sleeve. You know, I got the PS4 version. That's the one I primarily played, but I also did get the platinum in the PS3 version. I got this maybe a few months after I did the PS4 version. And so, yeah, Batman Arkham Asylum PS3, a gem, a classic. But Of course, you can't talk Arkham City, dog. Arkham City. This is the one. This is the Batman game that we talk about. I know a lot of people talk about all of them, but still, Arkham City just kind of changed the whole landscape, man. You know what I mean? I remember being so excited for this. There wasn't a demo for this one, but again, like I played Asylum so much that I was looking forward to getting Arkham City. And it honestly did, like, I was obsessed with that. This is probably like one of the first games, not the first game, but one of the first games where I was really like obsessed with it. Like I just couldn't stop thinking about it. I couldn't stop playing it for just however long I had it. Because I did eventually trade it in for, like, you know, other games. I was a kid, didn't have money. Gotta do what you gotta do. And so, yeah, Arkham City, just like, I love Arkham City. I mean, I played this multiple times for the platinum, dog. I played like that platinum. Whew. The Arkham City platinum was something else. Let me tell you that. That's all I will say. And so, yeah, dude, this is again another game along with Arkham Asylum, 4 for 20. Just had to get it, and I'm glad I still held on to it so I can get that platinum. Because again, I just love the Batman Arkham games. I just figured I had them lying around. Why not just go get the 100% for every single version of the Arkham games? And so, yeah, Arkham City, one of my favorite games of the 7th generation, one of my favorite superhero games. But of course, I have one that's better than this. It's gonna be a hot take, controversial opinion, as they say. Batman Arkham Origins. To me, this is the best game in all the Arkham quadrilogy. Even after I played all the Arkham games, I still hold this one up as the best. I don't know, it just came out during like a really good time. 2013 was just a banger year for video games, and like Arkham Origins was just one of those games that you threw in there. I was upset, like, even when I finished the game, I would still watch walkthroughs of like other people playing the game because I just loved it so much. Like the story, like people complain about Arkham Origins because it feels more like Arkham City, and it's just like, I get that, but at the same time, it's like, it's more Arkham City, but you also have a really good story thrown in. You have really good performances. You have a really, like, the Christmas setting really does like change the vibes of everything. And so, I don't know, dude. It's just like, a lot of people are going to argue with me of like, maybe Arkham City is better, Arkham Knight's better, and I can get that. Completely valid opinions. But for me, always, I'm going to be rooting for Arkham Origins. I feel like it's the black sheep of the franchise, mainly because it's made by WB Montreal instead of just Rocksteady. But I mean, I feel like they did a fantastic job of like copying the Arkham formula into this and just, you know, not really enhancing too much of it, but adding their own little touches here and there, and just, again, surrounding that by a really good story. Like, if anything, I feel like this one has the best story out of all the Arkham games. I really do. I like fight me on that. That's how it is. That's how I feel about it. And so yeah, Arkham Origins, I did, again, one of those games I did get when it first came out. Thanks, Dad. It was a birthday gift, I believe. And then, of course, traded this in when I got the PS4, which was around Christmas time that year. And then I played it again. The only time I played it after that was when I first built my PC. And then I remember when I was getting back into platinum games and like platinum in the Arkham, all the Arkham games. I remember this one had the multiplayer trophies, and so I got this one like right away from Second and Charles. I was near me, $9.95, not too bad. And so, yeah, this is the only one from the PS3 collection that still has like the original sleeve and everything. And so, yeah, dude, Arkham Origins, I can't express how much I love Arkham Origins. I really do. All right, and then we get to some weirder ones. I don't really know what drove me to get these, but Battlefield 3, I can't tell you why I got this one. My dad, this is another one of those games my dad had on his Xbox 360. I remember playing the story. That was about it. I can't tell you anything that happened in the story, but I do remember the intro for Battlefield 3 with like the logos and stuff. That goes hard. That still like gives me chills to this day. I'm not even gonna lie. I still watch it every now and then because it's like, it's so good. Put that on like a really good sound system, it's over for me, dog. But yeah, Battlefield 3, don't really remember too much about this. Like, the only thing I played at the time was part of the story. I was way too young to be playing the multiplayer in these games, and so yeah, again, the game my dad got on his Xbox 360, I just happened to get it for my PS3. That's about it. I've only played maybe like a little bit. I remember jumping into the multiplayer way back when I was still in like high school. I was just curious. Like this is probably back in like 2017, 2018. I was just curious to see if any people were playing it. Surprisingly, people were. Like I was able to get into a match relatively quick, you know, for an older game. But who knows how the servers are nowadays with Battlefield 6 coming out and everything. I don't know. I could be wrong. But then we also have Battlefield Bad Company and Battlefield Bad Company 2. I don't know. I know a lot of people like these games. I think that's maybe the main reason why I got them, but I just don't. I never played them, so I can't really say too much about them. That's just the main reason. I just know people like them. That's the main reason I got them, and so maybe one day I'll play them. You know, Battlefield retrospective, maybe. I don't know. I don't know if you can get the trophies for these anymore, because yeah, of course there's multiplayer. I don't know how the servers are these days. So next up we have Binary Domain. I honestly don't know too much about this game. I've seen videos about it before. Again, really cheap. That's the main reason I got it. That's really all I can say about that. I don't know if there's any binary domain sickles out there that can recommend it. I'll play it one of these days. I'll play it. Same with Bionic Commando. I know this is a series that dates way back to like, I don't know, 80s, 90s maybe. Correct me on that if I'm wrong. And then this Bionic Commando reboot came out during like probably the 2010s, maybe late 2000s, and it's just like a gritty, edgy reboot of Bionic Commando, a really crazy twist. How do I know so much about a game I've never played? YouTube, bro. To be honest, Watch Mojo. I used to watch a lot of Watch Mojo when I was a teenager, and so that's really how I know about majority of these games, even though I've never played them. And our games I probably like wouldn't even be on my radar if I haven't watched them before, like watched them on Watch Mojo. And this is one of those games. like they mentioned the crazy twist. I don't want to like spoil it in case anyone cares about Bionic Commando. But again, this is one of those games. Again, pre-owned, on sale, and it's just like it was cheap, and so one of these days I'll play it, maybe for a retrospective on the channel, see if it's really that bad. I don't know, it's like the gameplay I've seen, it looks pretty cool, just like swinging the arm around, kind of like Spider-Man or whatever. I think it's just really the story that people, and like the whole gritty edginess of it, that people don't really seem to vibe with, but who knows, maybe one day I'll try check it out. And then we get to the Call of Duties that I have. I don't have too many Call of Duty games on PS3. The only ones I have Black Ops. I played this again. This is one of those games my dad got for the 360. Played the story. That's about it. I don't really know too much about the significance. Well, I guess I can, but because a lot of people like Black Ops, but I never played like the multiplayer, so I don't really know like this whole significance of how Black Ops ranks among all the Call of Duty games. I honestly do not remember the story that well. I just know it's like Mason the numbers. That's really it. That's really just from like memes and stuff. It's been so long. And again, the only reason I did probably get this, I don't know, maybe I did get this when it was on sale, but also I think the multiplayer, I'm pretty sure all the like Call of Duties that came out from like the PS3 onward, most of their servers still work. Trophy wise though, I don't know if you really can get the platinum. I'll get to that in the next Call of Duty that I have. But yeah, Call of Duty Black Ops, again, played it when I was a kid, don't really remember too much about it. But yeah, maybe one of these days if I ever do like I platinumed every Call of Duty, or like every Call of Duty like retrospective or something, then I'll definitely hop back into this one. But Black Ops 2, I think Black Ops 2 to this day probably remains my favorite Call of Duty. Now, I am probably like biased and nostalgic in a way because this was really my first multiplayer experience. I remember playing this with my cousins a lot back when this came out, playing zombies with them. And so I have a lot of fun memories with Black Ops 2. I remember this was like probably the first Black Ops game I was like super hyped about because I think, yeah, I got this from my PS3, or my dad got this from my PS3. And to be honest, like the story is good, even though we're in the future now. This is in the past basically, which is kind of sad. The multiplayer, I remember vibing with the multiplayer a lot. Again, my first multiplayer experience, so I had like a fun time with that. Didn't run into anything too crazy. And I know the zombies, like I've seen some people be like, this isn't my favorite zombies. This is really the only zombies experience I've had with Call of Duty. And so I guess for that reason, it remains my favorite. Maybe I need to play more Call of Duty. I don't really know. But yeah, I like Black Ops 2 really does. Like I really enjoy Black Ops 2. Like just for the vibes, the memories that I have with it. And like, this is probably the Call of Duty, if I ever were to go back to it, I'm probably looking forward to the most. Who knows? Maybe my opinions will change if I ever play it again, but I don't know. I don't really play a lot of Call of, like, the last Call of Duty I probably played heavily was Modern Warfare back in 2019. Since then, I have not touched a Call of Duty game since. Now, my dad loves Call of Duty. He'll play it. He really just plays the story. I remember Modern Warfare 2. So we got him a PS5. This is really off topic, but we got him a PS5 a few years ago, and it came with the Modern Warfare 2 bundle, and he played through that story. He played through Black Ops 6, and so yeah, my dad loves Call of Duty. I'll say that he's really the main reason I'm into Call of Duty as much as I am now. I'm pretty sure I would have touched it at some point, but he's really the main reason I got into Call of Duty. And the last Call of Duty that I have for PS3 is Call of Duty Ghosts. A lot of people do not like this one. Again, my dad got this for the 360. I played through the story. I might have played a little bit of the multiplayer. But I don't really remember the story too well. I think you're in space a little bit, and then like there's a mission where you're jumping off the side of a tower. There's a really wild cliffhanger ending in this one that I'm pretty sure will never get followed up because I guess Ghost just did not do that well. Remember, this was one of those. Yeah, that's cool. Get the PS4 digital version of Call of Duty Ghosts for $10. It expired like more than 10 years ago, but that's really cool. I remember this was like that first, I guess, hybrid, or one of the hybrid games where it came on PS3 and well, I say the first. It was one of those hybrid games that was on the PS3 and the PS4. I'm out of focus. Yeah, I guess, I'm trying to think. No, because my dad, we got a 360. We never got on the Xbox One or the PS4. The reason I got the PS, I don't even know. Well, I guess I can. It was cheap, $7.95. That's where I got it. And so that's really the main reason I got the PS3 version as opposed to the PS4 version. I am out of focus, my dude. Call of Duty Ghost. And so maybe one of these days, you know, I'll try it out again, see if it holds up, see if it doesn't, see if I understand why people do not like this one as much. And yeah, that's all the Call of Duty games I have. And the last game that starts with a C is Captain America Super Soldier. This kind of came out when I was not super into movie tie-in games anymore. This was probably, I think 2011. And at that point, who knows what I was playing in 2011. Pretty sure I was playing like Saints Row or Force Unleashed or something. I don't even know when this came out, like the actual like month or whatever. Probably sometime after the movie, probably like June, July or something. And so I don't really know too much. I played the beginning of it when I got it a few years ago. Still really expensive. I get like the whole MCU superhero games, depending on what they are kind of expensive, but look how much I paid for this. Focus, can you focus? $35.95. You see that? Almost $40 for this game, bro. That's crazy work. Yeah, Call of Duty Captain America, or I said Call of, jeez Louise, okay. Captain America Super Soldier. Again, this is one of those, just a basic movie tie-in game. I don't think it has too much to do with the actual movie itself. I could be very wrong. I really do need to play it. I really want to play it. One thing to point out, 3D compatible. Yeah, 3D compatible. I don't have a 3D TV though, so we can't really test that out. But yeah, I do want to play this one day. Maybe I do have a plan to do like all the MCUs, like the Phase 1 MCU games, like just covering those. And so yeah, that's really the main reason I got it, was like just do that in the series. I mean, yeah, that's really all I can say about Captain America. One of the last movie tie-in games to come out during like that Phase 1 era. We never got anything for Avengers. And then after that, it was really just mobile game stuff. So really the last of its kind, to be honest. You know, after this we didn't really see too many movie tie-in games anymore for anything really, which is kind of weird. Last of its bygone era, I guess. All right, so moving on to the D's, we have a lot of D games. Pause. just a lot of games that start with the letter D. And so the first one I have, Dante's Inferno. Pretty much from what people claim is a God of War ripoff. I have seen very little about this game. I just know you're fighting through, I guess, the 7 layers of hell as Dante. This is of course based off like something like, I can't really go too in depth because I don't want to sound ignorant. But I mean, yeah, this really like, I never heard too much about this game until probably again like some videos I watched on YouTube a while back. And then I just happened to see it at my second Charles, picked it up for $16. So not a bad pickup. I played a little bit of this when I first got it, really just to test to make sure that the game worked. I did get one trophy. I don't remember what it was, but yeah, Dante's Inferno. Interesting game. I do remember I saw a video about the promo for this. I remember EA had like some fake protesters or something. It was wild. It was very wild. So if you ever want to like look into that, I would recommend it, because EA marketing in general during like the 2010s for video games was kind of wild, but this is definitely one of those instances where it was very, very wild. And so yeah, definitely want to play this one day. I think, yeah, there's no trophies. There is like probably some DLC or something, but there are no multiplayer stuff, so the trophies might be manageable. We'll see. So yeah, I might cover this one day for the channel. Next up, we have Darkness. This actually doesn't work. I've had this copy sitting in my collection for like years now, but it doesn't even work. I don't know too much. I have this and also have Darkness 2, but to be honest, this one I probably have to play on the Xbox because again, my physical copy doesn't work. And then there's Darkness 2. Don't know anything about these games. Again, got these because they were cheap. Just know you're a man in the darkness with like some little tendril coming out of your arms. I think I have no idea. Correct me if I'm wrong. Leave a comment if you really want me to see, if you really want to see me play the Darkness games, then just leave a comment or something. I can definitely check it out sooner rather than later. Do some research to actually know what the heck I'm talking about with these games. But yeah, that's the Darkness 1 and 2. Then we also have Dark Sector. Again, I probably picked this up because it was cheap, and the only way I really know about this game was because of my Saints Row 2 retrospective. When I found out the porting company who did that for the PC also did Dark Sector for PC. I got this way before that, but that's the only thing I really know about this. You're a man, you have like this little like spiky frisbee, whatever you want to call it. I sound super dumb right now, but that's the only way I can describe it. Aside from that, that's really all I know. Maybe one of these days I'll play it. Then we have a little game called Dead Space. Again, it came out when I was probably too young. I think this came out the same day as Saints Row 2. Again, I only know that because the retrospective I made back in 2023. Horror classic by many accords. This does have a remake. I don't have it, but I do want to get it because it's like 20 bucks. I remember the remake was free one time on PlayStation Plus, but I didn't want to get it because I would prefer to get the physical version of it, which right now is like 20 bucks, which not a bad steal. This one was actually like $17.95, so it's pretty much the same price. But one day I do want to play the Dead Space games. For like the last 2 Halloweens, I'm like, I want to do something spooky, and Dead Space was on there, but I just never got around to it. And so yeah, Dead Space PS3, I definitely want to do this, and Dead Space PS5, get the trophies for both of those versions, because I don't know how about, I know there's like multiple playthroughs required for each of the versions, but I played like a little bit of this multiple times. I played a little bit on my dad's Xbox one time. I played a little bit of this version. I played a little bit of the PC version. I never played the PS5 version, but yeah, I definitely do want to play this one day. A lot of people hold this game up in high esteem, and I definitely want to see why that is. I'm not the biggest horror person, but I'm kind of getting into the genre, you know, and so Dead Space is a classic, so it's just like, may as well give it a try. And I was just curious because it was kind of thick. Got 2 manuals in here. Although this one, what is this? For Dead Space 2, limited edition. Oh, I guess they just lumped both of these in here, whoever had this before. So, this got Dead Space 2 manual, lying in my Dead Space 1 game. How sweet is that? No wonder it was so thick. Gee, this one's thick too. This is a thick manual. What's all in this? Next up, we have Deus Ex Human Revolution. One of those games my dad had on his Xbox, and I just happened to get on my PS3 when, I can. I don't really know too much about the Deus Ex franchise. I do know it dates back to like 2000 because this year's the 25th anniversary. I have the original Dead Space, or not Dead Space, the original Deus Ex. So I have played like a little bit of that, like way back when. And so I would like to, play through the Deus Ex games. I know they're really deep RPGs. And I think the newer versions, this one and then Mankind Divided, I believe is the sequel to this. I know they aren't like, to Deus Ex fans, held to high regard as like the originals and whatnot. But I guess this is the Deus Ex I grew up with, in quotes. And so like Adam Jensen, that's like the main guy. I think that's this guy. I could be wrong. Yeah, Adam Jensen. I had to read the back. The only guy like I'm familiar with when it comes to Deus Ex, I don't even know who the original guy's name is. But one of these days I'll play through the Deus Ex games. I have played probably, I don't know, 4 or 5 hours of this, the very beginning, and I can definitely see like how, like, I'll just say RPG-y-ish it is, because there's a lot of things you can do, like just from the beginning. If you want to go in loud, if you want to go in stealthy, not kill anybody, those are options that you can do. And of course the consequences, like there are consequences to your actions, and that's really, I'm just kind of just filling in. I don't really know what else to say. I don't know too much about these games, but one day I will play it. But I just wanted to, like, this is a thick manual. I mean, not like super thick compared to, I guess, PS2 games or whatever. But I mean, look, there's 24 pages in this. I don't know why I'm doing this, but yeah. Oh, it did it. 24 pages to this manual, which I know in the grand scheme of things isn't like a lot, but still, that's a lot. I don't really want to harp on the past. I miss manuals. I really do, for some reason. It'd be nice if more games nowadays had manuals. I just feel like games were built different when you had to like actually look at the manual and whatnot, but I digress. Next game that starts with a D, Dishonored. I really like this game. I really do. I remember Black Friday of 2012, I believe. I saw this at Walmart for like $10. That's all I had, so I got it. And I don't think I finished it on the PS3. I don't think I did. The reason I have the Game of the Year edition is because, again, I saw this at Second and Charles. It was only $12, so not too bad of a pickup, especially you get this cool sleeve, so that's really cool. But yeah, I didn't really play this until I got it for PS4 way back when. I don't even remember when I got it, but yeah, PS4, that's the one I finished. That's the one I like. Actually, let me tell you, I was really in my bag with the PS4 version of Dishonored. Like, I was doing a no hit, no, hold on, let me rewind. I actually did like a whole like no kill, all stealth, no one saw me kind of thing, and it was like super fun. I really enjoyed that, and I would really like to do that again for the PS3 version, because the PS4 version, I actually could get the platinum pretty soon. If I ever do another one of those trophy cleanup videos, I'm definitely going to do it for the PS4 version, because I don't have too much left when it comes to that. But yeah, I definitely have a lot when it comes to the PS3 version, because I barely played the PS3 version. I only played like a few hours. I'm very curious to go back and see how many trophies I even have for this version, or the PS3 version. I actually never looked inside like the actual disc. Like, what's inside this? Let's see. We got a little slip for Elder Scrolls Online, another slip for Wolfenstein: The New Order, a classic. What is this? This a wanted poster? Hold on, cuz. Oh no, what is this though? In fact, I've never like looked into this, so I never knew any of this was even inside. That's kind of cool. That is kind of cool. And then of course you get the manual, pretty small manual, but yeah, that's actually really awesome. Yeah, it just shows I really need to start paying attention to what I'll get in this, because I didn't even know all this stuff was in there. That's really cool. But yeah, so one day, I definitely will plan on playing Dishonored again soon. This is probably, if I do like the whole platinum cleanup thing this year, that's definitely one of the games I want to play. But I'm also going to replay the PS3 version at some point, just so I can, get those trophies there too. So if I ever do a retrospective as well, which I probably would one of these days, PS3 version is probably what I'm going to go with, so I can get that platinum, and then of course go to Dishonored 2, and then the ones after that. Dishonored, bro, like, it's so sad the studio, Arcane, they got shut down, because I would really love another Dishonored game. I really would. And then we get to some of my favorite games of all time, DJ Hero and DJ Hero 2. So when people talk about the whole like rhythm game craze that was sweeping the nation in like the late 2000s, everyone always talks about Guitar Hero, everyone always talks about Rock Band. Me, I'm talking about DJ Hero. I freaking love DJ Hero, bro. I absolutely love these games to death. My dad got this Xbox 360, and the reason I got this for the PS3, this was when Daft Punk broke up back in like 2021, 2022, and I was so devastated. But I remember they were in the DJ Hero games, and so that day I literally went, I got this at GameStop. I think both of these were still at GameStop. I got both of these, and then of course I had to get the turntable from eBay, but then I realized that the turntable, you need like a wireless dongle for the PS3 version, which kind of sucked. So I had to get that too, so I had to wait for all that. But yeah, DJ Hero, this is my rhythm game. People have Guitar Hero, I have DJ Hero. I still play this to this day. I played this like a few months ago, and I would really, really like to play this, like really get into it and like really just master this game. I can't get the platinum these days, unfortunately, because the multiplayer service for it shut down a few years ago. But I really would like to actually just do the hard trophies in this game, because you have to master this game to get all those trophies. You have to play through some stuff on hard and even expert. I think I have to look back into it, but yeah, I think the main reason that I like DJ Hero is because it really formed my taste in music, I guess, because you have some bangers on this, and like the way they mix them, oh my god, I'm not even gonna lie, I still listen to those mixes to this day. I really do. Like, you have Jay-Z and Eminem, you have Daft Punk, The GOAT, and Queen, Black Eyed Peas and Betty Benassi, I think I'm saying that right. Like, let me see if I can just show you the set, like just a small sliver of the set list, if it'll focus. Don't look at my face. Focus on the set list. Just look at that. Take a minute and just look at what we got here. These are just straight bangers mixed together in like the most like euphoric way possible. That's the only way I can describe this, dude. And so yeah, so I'll admit, DJ Hero 2, I actually have not touched this, but I've listened to some of the mixes in this game. Fire. Just straight fire, dude. I think this one, dang, what's the name? Dead Ma, he's in this. I think I'm saying Dead Ma 5. I think I'm saying that right. I don't know. Daft Punk is still in this. I actually didn't know that. Who else is in this? I don't know. But yeah, dude, DJ Hero, like these games, I have a soft spot for these games. I really do. One of these days, there's no manual for these. I was curious. One of these days, I am gonna master this. I'm saying it right here in this video. I'm gonna master DJ Hero and DJ Hero 2. I'm saying that right now. Also, I got them 99 cents. This was only like back in like, again, 2021 or 2022. GameStop was still selling like retro games, and now they're making a whole big deal about it right now. But like 99 cents, that is actually ridiculous. All right, and then we're gonna do some weird territory here. Dragon Age Origins, let me say that. Dragon Age Origins Awakening, and Dragon Age Origins Ultimate Edition. So why do I have 3 different versions of Dragon Age, you might ask? Well, I would be glad to inform you. So back when like previews were coming out for Dragon Age Veilguard. I remember listening to a podcast about it, and to be honest, it really intrigued me. I wasn't super into Dragon Age growing up. I was always a Mass Effect person, and so I remember I didn't really know about these games until like later on. I think with Inquisition was coming out in 2014. That's when I learned about it, and then I remember getting it at some point, maybe a few months after that. But I wasn't super into RPGs like I would say I am now. Again, I'm not like a hardcore RPG person, but I am more familiar with it now compared to when I was like 14, 15. And I only played Inquisition, didn't really know too much about what was going on. The gameplay was kind of weird at the time, and so I didn't play too much of it. And yeah, once Veilguard was coming out and they were talking about it, I'm like, this sounds really cool. And I'm like, maybe I should go back and play the Dragon Age games. And so I remember, again, I have Dragon Age Origins on Steam. I never played it, but I do have it on Steam. I remember I probably got it during like a Humble Bundle or something. But I went to my second of Charles, got Dragon Age Origins, and then I realized, oh, this isn't the whole game because it's DLC and whatever, and like there's an expansion. So then I got I got this on eBay. I probably got this on eBay, and so I got Dragon Age Origins on eBay, Dragon Age Origins Awakening on eBay, and I'm just like, do I really need both of these versions? I started this maybe like an hour, 2 hours or so. I was like 2 hours into it, and then I got this. I'm like, let me see if there's an Ultimate Edition out there, because I'm pretty sure if there is, then that would just be made like super easy instead of having like 2 games to worry about. So that's why I got the Ultimate Edition. There's no sleeve on it, which is why I didn't show the case, but I did get the Ultimate Edition. $5, dude. Crazy work. $5. And so, yeah, one of these days, I do want to play Dragon Age. I do want to play through the Dragon Age series because I love BioWare, especially like older BioWare. I know a lot of people will have like some disdain towards modern BioWare. I haven't played too much modern BioWare games to really say. I think the only one like actually was that I'm pretty sure Microsoft Mass Effect Andromeda. Well, like the last, I guess, mainline BioWare game I played. They've done Anthem, they've done Veilguard, but yeah, just a lot of old school BioWare games I really want to get into, because Mass Effect I would say is really the only one. Mass Effect, and then there's also Knights of the Old Republic. I have played those at least, but yeah, I definitely want to play through Dragon Age at some point. So yeah, I got Ultimate Edition. That's the one I'm probably gonna go with whenever I do revisit it, just because it's all on one disc. And then we also have Dragon Age 2. A lot of people don't like Dragon Age. Well, I shouldn't say like. Don't like it as much as the first game, because I think this one was kind of trying to, I guess, copy the formula that made Mass Effect 2 work. And then from what I've read and seen, they've also rushed the development for this game, because I think this one came out maybe like a couple years after Dragon Age. And of course, when you're making an RPG, you need a lot of time to let that stuff sit and digest, and you know, there's a lot of systems going on. And so yeah, Dragon Age 2, a lot of people don't really like this one compared to the first one. And of course I got this because I was trying to play through all the Dragon Age games, got this one for $12, not a bad steal. And so this one's pretty heavy. What's inside? When did I get this too? I got this back in, damn, I got this a whole year ago. I didn't realize that. My receipt says I got this in September 18th of 2024. I didn't even realize that it was that long, to be honest. Well, that makes sense. That's when they were talking about Dragon Age Veilguard. So, there's an online pass. I didn't know that. But yeah, this, again, dude, oh my God. We got another thick manual. This has 37 pages, dude. That is crazy. And the big 20, I think this was 20, what year does it say on the box? 2011? In the year that was 2011, we were still getting thick old manuals like this. That's crazy. Man. Well, I definitely got to check this out whenever I play Dragon Age 2. But yeah, I really do want to play through the Dragon Age games at some point, because again, I have all of them. And so I think so. I need to check if I have Inquisition. Whenever I do the PS4 one, that's when I'll know. And then we have Duke Nukem Forever. One of the worst games I've always hear people talk about. This was a prime example of a game that was in development hell for like decade, I think more than a decade. And I mean, yeah, I've just heard nothing but bad things about this. That's the main reason I got it. Got it for $9. Don't think that's too bad. I will play this at some point because I want to see how bad this game is. I've actually never played Duke Nukem games before. I know they're kind of like Doom clones in a way, the earlier games at least. And then of course we have this one. And I mean, yeah, dude, I actually was thinking about getting there's like a collection. I think there still is a collection I can get on the PS4, like the old school Duke Nukem games. I would definitely like to check those out. But yeah, definitely gonna check this out at some point because of how bad it is. And of course, if you think it's a good game, no judgment, man. I'm saying that as a person who's never even played it, so I don't know. I might play it, I might be surprised. I might be like, it's a good game. Who knows? All right, we are out of the D's, and we're moving on to the E's, which only has one game: Enslaved: Odyssey to the West. I've heard a lot about this game. I've heard just how great the mocap is. Andy Serkis is playing the monkey in this. This is kind of, I guess, just like a modern retelling of Journey to the West. A story I'm not too familiar with. The only reason it's really on my radar now is because of I think Black Myth Wukong. That's the main reason. I actually thought about reading it, but I never got around to it. And so Enslaved: Odyssey to the West, I played maybe an hour or so of this when I first got the PS3 version. So yeah, just one of these days I'm gonna check it out. Then we have an F's, the only F game, Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer. Yeah. Back when movie tie-in games were still very prevalent in our society, our gaming landscape, if you will. We rented this back in 2007, I think, for the Wii, and that's all I played of it was on the Wii. And so I got it again on PS3 when this is one of those games I happened to be cruising the aisles of my second and Charles, and I saw it and I'm like, I'll get it. I never played this one. I actually had the PS2 version first, and then I think the PS2 version I got on eBay, and then I got this one for the PS3 when I saw it, and I also got it again recently for the 360 because this one does not have trophies. And yeah, I would like to get achievements for it, which is why I got the 360 version. But I'm very curious to play this one. I just played the first Fantastic Four movie tie-in game for the PS2 not too long ago. I wrote the retrospective for that. I just gotta do my stuff with that. And I would really like to play this one at some point, hopefully in the near future, just to see how this one holds up. Because I didn't mind the first Fantastic Four game, but who knows how this one's gonna turn out. The graphics look okay from what I'm looking at on the box art on the back. They look alright. Four player multiplayer. I guess you can play, the whole Fantastic Four as opposed to like 2 or 3 at a time. And so yeah, Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer. An okay movie also. Nothing crazy. It's an okay movie. Nowadays I prefer First Step that just came out. But I do have a soft spot for the 2000s Fantastic Four movies. And now we get to the God of Wars. The God of War. I have every God of War game for the PS3. Starting with Ascension, the prequel, if you will. Well, a prequel to God of War. There are multiple prequels to God of War, but the prequel, this one was the last one to come out on the PS3. Not a lot of people hold this one in high regard either. I think just because at this point we were kind of running out of juice when it came to God of War. It's like, what all could you really tell now at Kratos before the whole reboot thing happened? And so still need to play this one. I did play it. I remember I played this, I didn't play it on PS3, but I remember when the PS4 came out, probably like a few months after. There's PlayStation Now where you can play all the old school PS3 games, since there was no backwards compatibility for PS3 games, and there probably won't be because of the whole cell architecture stuff, whatever. And so I remember streaming the PS4 version, so I do already have a few trophies for it, but I did get the PS3 version a few years ago, probably. I just held on to it since. I need to buy the multiplayer, the online pass for it before PlayStation Store goes kafritz, because it did like a few months ago, and I got super scared. And so, yes, this is the last PS3 God of War game that I do need to play. I need to get on this ASAP, because I know y'all are waiting for those God of War videos. I'm getting to it. I'm working on it. Then we have the God of War Origins Collection remastered for the PlayStation 3. I did play these originally on the PSP. Surprisingly, I did finish. Well, I don't know if I finished Chains of Olympus, but I know for sure I finished Ghost of Sparta. And so I played these earlier in the year when I was still on my God of War kick. Chains of Olympus, that video is out there, so you can check that out. Ghost of Sparta, I did finish that. I did platinum that. I just need to make the video for it. And so, yeah, I did enjoy these games for what they were. Of course, Chains of Olympus, as you all know, is the prequel to God of War, and then Ghost of Sparta takes place after God of War 1. And so, interesting stories to tell, I do think. I'm trying to think which one. I think I preferred Ghost of Sparta over Chains of Olympus. It took me a minute to actually like come to that conclusion, because at the time when I finished it, I'm like, I don't know, I kind of like Chains of Olympus. I liked its smaller story and whatever, but I think Ghost of Sparta just does a lot more with the story, or like really the story and the gameplay of Ghost or God of War. And so at the time, like now that I think about it, I do think Ghost of Sparta was the better of the two, but it's really solid games overall. I did enjoy them. And then of course we got the main stuff, which is the God of War 1 and 2 collection. Played these in the beginning of the year as well. I have a very funny story. Because I think there's a thick, jeez, we got a thick manual here too. Never mind, not too thick. It's only like 13 pages, but a manual nonetheless. And we got some interesting tidbits on the back about the PlayStation Store, PlayStation Camera, online gaming. Kind of cool. Oh, I guess it's the God of War 3 demo, which I guess whoever had it never used it because it's not even scratched out, but I'm pretty sure it expired. Yeah, 2009. Although I would be curious if it still worked. I know it's expired, but who knows. But yeah, of course, the two games that started it all, God of War and God of War 2. I never, of course, played the PS2 version of these. The God of War collection is my main entry point to the God of War games. Well, not my main entry point, because I'm pretty sure I played Chains of Olympus and Ghost of Sparta before these, just because I had them on PSP. And I mean, yeah, solid entries. Like I played them in the beginning of the year. I have videos on these, so if you want to know more of my thoughts and just my whole journey of getting the platinum, you can. So I don't really want to harp on them for too long. But the funny story that I had for this, I played this because this is my second copy of this. The first one I played it back when God of War 2018 was coming out. I was playing through the first God of War. I got to that part in Hades where you have to climb that wall of spikes, and I kept falling down. I got super pissed off about it, and so what I did was I yanked the game out of my PS3, and I ended up breaking the disc in the process. And so I just never got around to finishing God of War, even though I was like incredibly close. Like that was the second to last level in the game, so I was kind of disappointed about that. And then I never got to play God of War 2 at the time, so I had to watch like a whole video on YouTube, which helped at the time, but now that I have played it, it's much better doing it that way. And so I'm glad I got this one again. How much was this? This was only $10. That's kind of crazy. $10, dude. Whereas this was $15. What do you make of that? That's interesting. But yeah, just of course, God of War, just, you know, the classic of the early PlayStation era. And then of course you got God of War 3. Now I do have the PS4 version of this. This is actually the one I got this back in March, and that's what I used to platinum the game, and I'm gonna make the video on. But I do want to come back and get the platinum for the PS3 version as well, just because I played, but again, back when the reboot was coming out, I played the PS3 version. Probably have half the trophies in that game, and now that I know what to do, it'd be probably much easier to get the platinum in this one. And so at some point I will come back and get the PS3 version, like the platinum for the PS3 version again, probably whenever I do the platinum trophy cleanup, which I probably will do at the end of this year. We shall see. So this might be another game added to that video. We have the Grand Theft Auto 4, another classic of the PS3 360 era, aside from GTA 5, of course. I have played GTA 4 in very weird bursts of time. Again, this is one of those games my dad got in his 360 whenever this came out. This was actually, if I'm correct, this is my first M-rated game. I remember I remember when my dad got this, I I literally just wanted to drive. I just wanted to drive around. That was the main thing I wanted to do. So I begged my dad to let me play this game just so I can drive. And he was like, I'll let you play it. Just don't say any of the cuss words that are in this game at school or anything. I'm like, okay. And so this is my introduction to the Grand Theft Auto franchise because I just wanted to drive so bad. But from what I've seen, from what I watched videos about this, a lot of people claim this to be one of the best Grand Theft Auto games. I haven't played all of them, but I'm gonna change that before Grand Theft Auto 6 comes out. And so I am gonna play this at some point. I played probably the first like 10 hours or so multiple times. I've never gotten too far into the game myself, but we are going to change that because I do want to play through all the Grand Theft Auto games and maybe platinum them. It kind of depends. I know. So this is where I won't get into it here because it gets really complicated really fast. But I know the multiplayer in this one's kind of difficult to get the trophies in just because these days you're gonna have the boost, and I've seen some videos where people had to get multiple PlayStation 3s for some of the multiplayer trophies. So it's gonna be an interesting one to play through. But I am kind of excited to play this one because again, a lot of people claim this to be like the most well-written Grand Theft Auto game. And I mean, from what I have played, it is like, pretty good. I mean, I can definitely see why it'd be like a 10 out of 10 masterpiece in a lot of people's eyes. And so it'll also be very interesting to compare this to Saints Row 2 because this came out like 6 months or so before Saints Row 2, and I think I'm at a point now. I played Saints Row 2 a couple times in like the last couple years after my retrospective, and I can definitely say it's one of my favorite games of all time now. And so definitely interested to see how that compares to Grand Theft Auto 4. I might have to make a video where I compare the two, see which one's better, see what both of these games do better than the other or whatever. But yeah, Grand Theft Auto 4, I definitely want to play one of these days. Definitely before Grand Theft Auto 6 comes out, that's for sure. All right, moving on. This one does not have a sleeve on it, but I'll just do the manual, make it easy. Haze. Another one of those weird games made by a studio that is now defunct, Free Radical Design, published by Ubisoft, as you can see. Again, I don't really know too much about this game other than like the whole... This is one of those first wave, I guess, of PS3 exclusive game. I think this was a PS3 exclusive. I'm assuming it is because I remember one of the things in the marketing was like, this is a Halo killer or something. And so, yeah, but other than that, I just know like you're like a soldier and you get like this weird drug or something that lets you, I don't really know. But yeah, another one of those games I would like to check out one day just to see how bad it is. Because again, there probably are some defenders out there that are like, this game is actually pretty good, but I don't know. Never played it. Don't really know too much about it, other than the Halo killer stuff. Next up, man, jeez. How thick is this manual, man? 25 pages? I'm sorry for gushing over the manuals, dude. It's just like, I miss this stuff. Heavenly Sword, that's the next game. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. Heavenly Sword is the next game. Again, another game I don't know too much about. This was another one of those early PS3 exclusive. I think it was exclusive. Another one of those early games. I know Andy Serkis, he's in this one as well. That's about it. Action heavy game. I don't know. Again, I just kind of got it probably because it was cheap. And so I just know very little about it from like videos and stuff that I've watched. Is it Team Ninja? I just realized that, I think. Or Ninja Theory, geez. Yeah, Ninja Theory, they're the ones who made it. So one of these days, I'm gonna check it out. I'm saying that for a lot, but I really do. Like, I guess the main reason I'm making this is because if you're seeing a game, you're like, oh, I would like to see you cover that. That's really the main reason I'm doing this. Also, I can just yap about games because I want to. I really feel like it. Heavy Rain. It's another one I have in here. I haven't played this on the PS3. I know there's a PS4 version out there. So chances are I might just play the PS4 version instead of the PS3 version. We'll see. since I have it, I might just play the PS3 version. It just kind of depends, because like I have this for the PS3, and then I have Beyond Two Souls for the PS4, which was the next Quantic Dream game. And so yeah, maybe if I do play, I'll just do the PS3 version. But yeah, I mean, this is one of those, I know a lot of people, I think, looking back on it now, not as like not as good as many people were saying it was when it first released. But I don't know, I like to check it out, see for myself, for my own opinion. I think especially now that I'm playing it removed from the hype when it first came out, I might, you know, think about, might see it differently, but you never know. We'll see. All right. Home fronts. I have a very interesting story about home fronts. I remember back when Blockbuster was still a thing. Yes, I am, even though I'm young, on the young side, I'm familiar with Blockbuster. I went to Blockbuster. I'm getting off topic here, but yeah, so when we first moved to where I am now, there was a Blockbuster like 5 minutes from our house. So we were always going to Blockbuster. And so I remember I got the game rentals were always what I was looking after. And this one I saw, and I kid you not, I finished this in like a day. The campaign in this game is not that long. And so yeah, I literally finished it in a day. And I mean, I was like, hey, save me some money, right? But I don't really remember this. I know it's based off of the Homefront, I think. No, not Homefront. Red Dawn is the movie? Yeah, from the writer of Red Dawn and Apocalypse Now. So it's based on the Red Dawn universe, pretty much. And there's multiplayer in this. I actually didn't know that. I doubt the servers are even active, if even off online anymore. And so, yeah, Homefront, just a really short game. Maybe I'll play it again one day. It's been so long. I'm pretty sure I got this back in maybe 2012 or something. It like probably just summer of 2012. I didn't have anything to do, so I could just crank this out in a day. And so that's always like a funny story I think about when I see this game. And of course I had to get it because, you know, I was like, why not? It's cheap. And so yeah, one of these days I won't play it. Next up, we have two classics of the PS2 generation, Ico and Shadow of the Colossus. And so, let's see, Books a Million. That's interesting. You see that sticker at all? Interesting. But I did get from Second and Charles, $15. Not too bad for 2 games. Just looking at the manual. This interesting sleeve in here. I didn't really pay attention to that. I actually might, hold on. I'm gonna flip this around. I'm gonna use that instead. That's actually a really cool sleeve here. Oh, there's one disc. Okay. Yeah, this is actually really cool. Make sure, yeah. Proportions are good. So now look at it. We got Ico, Shadow of the Colossus. And so, yeah, so for this one, I haven't played Ico. But I have played Shadow of the Colossus through the PS4 remaster, remake, whatever you want to call it. And I love Shadow of the Colossus. I really did. I remember when I played, I knew about the twist beforehand, which kind of sucks. Won't say it here in case you haven't played them. But yeah, I remember seeing the twist and stuff, and I was like, dang, it would have been much better experience if I didn't know about some of this stuff going in. But I still enjoyed my time with Shadow of the Colossus. The main reason I did get this bundle, of course, was because I was thinking, this is back when I was in that trophy hunter mindset. I can get the platinum for Ico, and then I can get the platinum for the PS3 version of Shadow of the Colossus and the PS4 version of Shadow of the Colossus. Still might happen one of these days, but I don't know. But yeah, I definitely do want to check out Ico at least, just because I've never played Ico. I've just heard very little about Ico. If there's any major plot twist, I don't know anything about it, which is probably for the best, because I would like to go into this game as blind as possible. I just know the main gimmick, I guess, is like you're just leading some girl around. I don't know. That's all I know. And so yeah, one of these days, Ico, followed by the wham bam of Shadow of the Colossus. And then we get to possibly my favorite games of the PS3 generation, Infamous 2. Yes, we have the pre-owned sleeves, which suck. I really want to get the actual sleeves for these. If it means having to buy the game again, I'm more than happy to do that, because I love the Infamous games so much. Infamous, I don't know. I go back and forth on these, like which one's better, because I do think the first two Infamous games are better than the PS4 games that we got. Even though I don't mind the PS4, again, I don't mind Second Son and First Light. I really don't. I just think these two are much stronger than the sequels to those. Um, but yeah, I always go back and forth because I have such a soft spot for Infamous One. I played this game so many times. I remember this was one of those games that when the PlayStation Network went down, this is one of those free games that they were giving out. But also, aside from that, I played the demo of this literally like every morning before school. It was always that and Arkham Asylum. Those were the two demos I would always play before school. And so that, like, I think that's probably why I have more of a soft spot for Infamous. Even though Infamous 2 has much better gameplay, much better traversal, I would say. The one thing I do prefer in Infamous One, I kind of do prefer the voice actor in Infamous One. I think just kind of give it the whole situation, the dark and grungy voice of I don't remember the actor's name off the top of my head, really works. Whereas Infamous 2, it's more of like a youthful and more comic-y approach to the character, which again I don't mind. It's just something about the grittiness of Cole in the first game. I kind of prefer that a little bit more. I don't know. I kind of go back and forth on which one I prefer better, but yeah, Infamous, I freaking love Infamous. If you couldn't tell by now, like I mentioned this, I think in my Astrobot video, that Cole is my avatar. The PS3 version of Cole is my avatar. It'll probably will be my avatar for a very long time because he is easily one of my favorite PS3 characters, one of my favorite PlayStation characters. This is one of my favorite PlayStation 3 games. Really, I am with the people on this one. Even though Sucker Punch has moved on to other things with Ghost of Yotei and whatever, if they could just remaster the Infamous games, these Infamous games for the PS5 or even PlayStation 6, whatever, I would be more than happy. I don't want to say how much you can charge me for them now, but just please do something with the Infamous franchise. We need more Infamous. We want more Infamous. We really do. The fans want more Infamous. But yeah, Infamous 1, I love this game to death. Platinumed it back in 2021. Yeah, this is 2021. This is like a few months before I got my PS5. So yeah, Platinum this one, followed by Infamous 2. Infamous 2, again, so let me actually go back. Well, I already explained how I got this one. This one I got during Christmas one year. And I mean, of course, I got this from Blockbuster first. This is I want to say this was I think this is my 6th grade year of middle school, even though this came out before then. I got it from Blockbuster, played it over the weekend, and then of course I got it during like some Christmas that year. It was probably like $20, I think. And then of course played that. And yeah, dude, I mean, Infamous 2. I love Infamous. I love this whole franchise altogether. Some of my favorite games. Just, yeah, Infamous 1, 2. I'm gonna get the actual box art for these one day. If that means buying them again, I'm gonna do it. More movie tie-in games with Iron Man 1. This is another one of those games I probably rented more than I actually like played it myself. I remember I rented it for the Wii one time, and then I rented it for my dad's Xbox 360 one time. And then back when I was in middle school, I had an orthodontist appointment. They had the PS2 version of that. I played for probably like a solid hour or so. I don't know why my appointment, like I had to wait so long before I can get seen, but I remember playing like an hour or so on the PS2, and then I got this again. I actually got it for the PSP before I got the PS3 version, but I ended up getting the Xbox 360 version not too long ago because that one has achievements. But Iron Man, don't have too much experience with the first Iron Man, at least compared to Iron Man 2, which we'll get into next. But I just know this game, like from what I've heard, this game's hard. I know that much. But yeah, I played probably the beginning a couple times. I know there's some cool missions where like you're in Mark 1, and then you're in Mark 2, and then eventually you're in the iconic Iron Man suit. But yeah, other than that, I just know the game's hard from what I've read and seen. And so this one, I'm excited to play this one whenever I do cover all the MCU games at some point. But Iron Man 2 I have more experience with because I remember begging my mom to get this game for me. I wanted to play it so bad. We had seen the movie and I'm like, I want to play the game so bad. And so she was like, I'll get the game for you, but you're not getting allowance for like the next 3 or 4 months. And I'm like, deal. And so we got Iron Man, or I got Iron Man 2, played that. I actually played quite a bit of this back in the day, because again, this was the only game, one of the few games I would have at a time for the PS3, and so I'm pretty sure I have probably half of the trophies in this game, give or take. But yeah, there's nothing crazy, no crazy requirements for this. And so again, one day whenever I do the whole MCU Phase 1 games where I play through all those, I'll definitely get the platinum for this. Don't really remember too much about it. I know there's some cool costumes in the game. I remember this one also being pretty hard as well. You know, I actually played this one front to back, and so yeah, there were definitely some hard moments in this game, I'll say that. But other than that, I mean, you know, typical movie tie-in game, doesn't actually follow the story of the movie from what I remember, does its own little thing. And so yeah, definitely gonna be interesting revisiting this one whenever I get back to it. This one is my latest PS3 pickup. I got this one probably a week ago. Just Cause 2. I don't have much experience with the Just Cause franchise. I remember this was another one of those games that I played on the PlayStation Now service back when that was on PS4. I also had this one on my PC. I got this one, I think I got it in a Humble Bundle deal. So I did play a little bit of this, Just Cause 2. I think I played more Just Cause 3, but actually I never finished that one either. So yeah, at some point I would like to just go through and play through all the Just Cause games as well. So the reason I did get this one, because trophy support, even though I have on PC, you know, doesn't hurt to get those trophies. So yeah, that's why I have Just Cause 2. And yeah, I mean, I played this one a little bit, you know, cool, fun action game. Definitely Just Cause 3 and 4 up the ante a lot, but I am very curious to play this. I watched a video about this not too long ago about the whole like franchise, which was pretty intriguing. And maybe that might be the reason I got this too, just because I watched that video. But yeah, it was pretty cheap. It was only like $9. And so I just figured, you know, I saw it, I'll go ahead and get it. All right, next up we have Killzone 2. Another game where I played the demo a lot. But Killzone, just never actually played, like dived into the Killzone games like head first. The first Killzone game, I believe that was a PS2 game, but it did get a digital release for the PS3. So I do have the digital version of Killzone 1 on my PS3, but Killzone 2, I've only played the demo of this. I don't think I've actually played the game myself. I know you're probably wondering why I have so many games I just never played. I'm gonna get around to them at some point. It's just I always hear about these games, and if I see them on sale, it's just like, may as well get it, because you never know. And so yeah, Killzone 2 is one of those games. Unfortunately, I think the servers for these are either offline or just dead at this point, and so I don't know how feasible the platinum is for, I think, any of the Killzone games at this point. The only one I'm pretty sure you can at least get the platinum on is the first Killzone game. But I'm pretty sure like Killzone 2, Killzone 3, Shadowfall, you cannot get the platinum anymore. I could be wrong. I need to look into that. But yeah, I definitely would like to check out Killzone 2 and also Killzone 3. This one I don't think I've ever touched at all. I don't know if there was a demo for this. If there is, I think I was at the point where I didn't play demos as much anymore. But you never played Killzone 3. I see this one you can use the PlayStation Move controllers, which is pretty cool. I wonder how that actually works out. But yeah, Killzone 2, I never touched this one. And so one of these days I'll get around to the Killzone franchise, because I know a lot of people like Killzone. A prime example of like a FPS shooter that PlayStation just doesn't really care about anymore. And so yeah, one of these days I'll get around to these. And then we get into a wild one, Lair. Again, never played this. I just know like the whole history behind Lair, made by Factor 5, who did I think the Rogue Squadron games for the GameCube and stuff. And the reason this one failed was because it relied so heavily on the 6-axis motion controllers, which I think at the time just wasn't really the way to go. I do believe there's a patch where you don't have to use the 6-axis anymore. I could be very wrong on that, but yeah, that's the main reason this game just did not do that well. I think I'm just kind of going off of what I've seen online, but yeah, just because those 6-axis motion controls just not being super responsive, That was just one of the main reasons this game just kind of failed, and Factor 5 got shuttered because of that too, which is also pretty unfortunate. But yeah, one of these days, I'm saying that a lot, but I genuinely do, like, literally, I think at some point I'm just gonna have to put all these games that I have on a wheel and just kind of go around. Like Mayor Hairbear's doing that right now with the PS3 trophies. I just need to do that. Just put all these PS3 games in a wheel and just like randomly, like if it lands on this, I'm gonna cover that video or cover that game in a video. And so yeah, that's layer. Oof. Hold on. This feels okay. This felt super empty. I got scared. This one, there's an interesting tale behind how I got this. And so this was before the whole, like, I guess remaster released not too long ago, and I don't know what prompted me to even want to get Lollipop Chainsaw to begin with. I remember seeing this game a lot when I was like 11, 12 or something, and I don't know, the box art seemed cool. It's just, I knew this was one of those games my parents probably would not get me, just because, you know, the box art just gives it all away. But yeah, I remember back a few years ago, I wanted to get this, and the cheapest option at the time was the Japanese version of Lollipop Chainsaw. And so I think I got that one because I remember doing a ton of research, seeing if I could play it in English and if I wanted to. And there's a whole rabbit hole behind buying Japanese versions of PS3 games and see if they work on the PS4 or on the US versions of the PlayStation 3. And so long story short, I got the Japanese version first, plugged it in, couldn't figure out how to get it in English, and I was like, I'm a dumb American who doesn't understand Japanese, man. I'm sorry, it's how it is. So I'm no offense at all, I really do not mean it, but I'm like, I'm not gonna play the whole game in Japanese. I'm not like that, I'm just not. And so I remember I caved in. I think this one was the US version was easily 50 bucks. I'm pretty sure. That's how much I got on eBay. I'm just like, I'm just gonna do it. And the reason, if you are curious why it costs so much, I don't think they made too many versions of the US version of Lollipop Chainsaw. I don't really know why, but that's why it's so expensive, just because it's not super common compared to other PS3 games, I guess. That's from what I read on like Reddit or something. And so Lollipop Chainsaw, I've actually really been, for some reason, wanting to play this a lot recently. And I know the remastered version is out, but I would prefer to play the native, like the original PS3 version, just because, one, music, I think they couldn't get the licensing for a lot of music that's in this game, music is pretty important to me when it comes to games. And so I'd rather just stick with like the actual, like, because I feel like the musical choices that they went with, from what I've heard a little bit of, it's just, it serves the narrative, I guess. And so even though the graphics are probably much prettier and you get more content, I think you get more content out of the remaster. Some of the trophies are a little simpler to get through. I'd much rather just stick with this one. I already paid a hefty amount for this version anyway, so I'm just gonna stick with it and play it, get the platinum for this one. Now we get to my slate of Lego games, starting with Lego Batman 2. This one, for me, pretty much changed all Lego games going forward. This was technically not the first one to have voice acting in it. I know the Lego City Undercover, I think, was supposed to come up before this one. I could be very wrong. I need to do more research on that, but I think it was supposed to come up before this one, which also has voice acting. So technically not the first Lego game that has voice acting, but it is the first one that released with voice acting, at least on main consoles. I know like some like handheld versions have voice acting, but we're gonna just stick with the big boys on the consoles. And so another funny story with this one, I remember, because dude, I felt so gaslit with this because I got the PS Vita version before this one. And so if you all are familiar with how Lego games were on handhelds, at least on the PSP, that's what I'm gonna go with, this the PSP version. Lego Star Wars 2, Lego Batman, Lego Indiana Jones, those versions on the PSP are almost identical to the console versions. There may be some minor changes here and there, but for the most part, you're playing the exact same game. And so in my head, I'm out here thinking, oh, that's gonna be the same. So the Vita was out at the time. So I'm thinking, oh, it's gonna be the same version. I mean, it's the Vita, it's more powerful than the PSP. I am pretty confident that the Vita can handle the power that Lego Batman 2 has on the console versions. Incorrect. As soon as I got that Vita version, I was disappointed, bro. I was disappointed because cutscene wise, everything's the same. Everything is fine. Gameplay, once you get into that gameplay, it's the same version as what you would get on the 3DS version. I know that because I had the 3DS version of Lego Batman 2. And so I remember I was so upset. I did play it though. I did play the entire Vita version. And then once I finished the Vita version, I'm like, I'm getting the PS3 version. I remember my mom was so mad because again, my mom was so mad because it was a whole $60 release. And I think I traded in my Vita version. Probably only got like 20-30 bucks for it, so she had to pay for the rest. And of course I understand why she would be mad at the time, because I was a little ungrateful about it. I was probably getting on her nerves as well. And so I ended up getting it again from Second and Charles, $7. Plan on playing this pretty soon actually for my whole Lego series that I got going on. I actually have majority of the trophies in this game, surprisingly. I looked at the list not too long ago. I think I only need maybe like 9-10 trophies, and so it'll be pretty easy cleaning this up. It kind of sucks that I have to play the whole game again, but I mean it works because I'm covering all the Lego games in the series, and so it's just, you know, it makes sense I guess to play from the beginning. And so yeah, I'm definitely excited to jump back into this one pretty soon. Next up we have Lego Indiana Jones 2: The Adventure Continues, the first Lego game on PlayStation 3 to have trophy support, because Complete Saga, Lego Batman, Lego Indiana Jones 1 do not come with trophies on the PS3. They only have achievements on Xbox. And so yeah, I had to think for a second. Yeah, so those don't have trophies, they only have achievements. I do have the achievements on the Xbox, but yeah, this is the first one that comes with trophies. And so funny thing, I remember when I was getting the Lego games on my Xbox, because I have a Series S back there over by Ellie on my media chest. I did buy Lego Indiana Jones 2 because I just kind of assumed it didn't have trophies on PS3 until I looked at like the Lego series trophies on PSN profiles, and also Lego Batman 2 had trophies, so I ended up getting this one on eBay. I never played this version of it until this year. I remember it came out, when did it come out? 2008, I think. This was sometime after Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. I remember seeing the commercials for it, and just the whole build your own level thing was one of the main draws that had me excited for Lego Indiana Jones 2, even though I admittedly didn't use the feature that much when I played it now. I remember playing, I had the DS version. My mom got me the DS version, I'm pretty sure for Christmas one year. So that's my main way of playing it before I played this version. Not super like jazzed about this one, just because, I mean, if it was just Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, I think it would have been fine, maybe. They just make a lot of weird choices in this one that I don't really vibe with all that much. Though I can't understand why people like it, because it is, compared to like previous Lego games, and even a couple that came after this one, it is very different. But yeah, I guess it just depends how you feel about, you know, I don't know. I like Indiana Jones though. Kingdom of the Crystal Skull is a weird one. I don't think the movie is terrible, but of course it's not, you know, it's not the great. I think it is easily the weakest out of all the Indiana Jones movies, but the game is just, it's just okay. The next one is probably one of my favorite Lego games outside of Lego Batman 2, which is Lego Marvel Superheroes. Again, another one I played the demo of. I'm pretty sure my dad's 360 for whatever reason. And then once I got my PS4, this was one of the first games I got. And that was one of the only PS4 games I had at the time, so I played a ton of it at the time. That easily could have been my first 100% ever, but I traded it in when I was at like 89%. I really regret doing that at the time, but I'm glad I was able to get it on my, I got a digital version on PS4, and I was able to back up my save from when I played it back in 2013, 2014. And so I got the PS3 version because, again, going through this Lego series, I wanted to not really just kind of jump in on the end and just have it be that. So I just figured I would get it and play it again, because it's been a long time since I even played through like the story and everything. And so it'd be fun to kind of just revisit it that way. But yeah, this is definitely one of my favorite Lego games. I just got super into it when it first came out. This is also when we were at like peak MCU with Avengers, and then of course Iron Man 3, going into Captain America and Guardians of the Galaxy and all that. So I was really into the MCU at the time. And so and probably like in X-Men, of course, that's when we were about to get Days of Future Past. And so I was just really into just really not even just MCU, but just Marvel in general. That was when I was like probably at my peak interest. I still care about it, but just when I was at my peak. And that's when I was watching like YouTube videos about it and whatever. And so yeah, this one I really like a Marvel superheroes, really do. One of my favorites. And then we get into a surprise entry in the Lego games, which is Lego Pirates of the Caribbean. And so Caribbean, however you want to say it. And so when I was getting into the Lego, like the Lego series and stuff, I never watched any of the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. Never watched them, never played this game. And so I did watch the movies. I thoroughly enjoyed the movies. I played it again before I played, or watched them again before I played this one. I played this one back in July. And I was genuinely surprised with how good this game is. I am going to cover this very soon whenever I get into like a good spot to start pumping out those Lego videos. But I really enjoyed Lego Pirates of the Caribbean. It blew my mind how good it is, because the story, like the way the levels progress in this game, like this easily has some of the best level design in any Lego game up to this point. I still need to play some after this, of course. I played plenty of Lego games after this came out, but I think up to that point, this easily had some of the best level design in a Lego game, some of the best boss fights compared to the previous Lego games at this point. And yeah, I was so surprised. I was so taken aback by how well Lego Pirates of the Caribbean was. Like genuinely, if you have not played this game, and if you have, first of all, I would recommend watching Pirates of the Caribbean. I'm personally not a huge pirate person, but I really like these movies, and I really like this game. Like I couldn't recommend this game enough. If you're a Lego fan, if you're a Pirates of the Caribbean fan, this one, you have to check this one out. It's really good. And then we get to probably one of my favorite PS3 versions of a Lego game, Lego Star Wars 3: The Clone Wars. I am a Clone Wars child. Like when people have their versions of Star Wars, right? My dad, of course, he would probably consider the original trilogy his Star Wars. I technically consider the prequels my Star Wars just because that's when I grew up. But honestly, the Clone Wars is really like my special place when it comes to Star Wars, because it came out at the right time. I was like 8-9 years old when the show was coming on, and so this was like peak experience. Like you got the toys, you got the Legos, you got the video games, you combine the Legos in the video game into one package, bro, it's over. And so of course when this came out, Dad, again, thank you, he got this for me. I think this came out probably, I was in the 4th grade, I believe, when this came out, and it was before spring break. And so when spring break came around, that was all I played. I finished it. Again, this is another one of those Lego games where I had pretty much played a good chunk of it when it came out, and I had a decent amount of trophy. I completed all the story stuff, of course. And so there was also like just a bunch of miscellaneous trophies I had cleaned up. And so when I revisited this one back over the summer just to finish up the trophies and stuff, I actually played this again also back in 2021. This was after I built my PC, and after I played the complete saga. And so I did play it then, but I also played it again now just so I can get the platinum. And of course there's some stuff that really slow it down. I think the ground assault battles, which, while a fun idea, I think having to do it all for the trophies and for 100% essentially can really slow things down, especially if you're doing them all in one sitting, which is what I did. But Overall, this is a really good Lego game. One of my favorite Lego games. Obviously, of course, I'm a huge Star Wars fan, a huge Clone Wars fan, and so yeah, dude, Lego Star Wars 3 holds a special place in my heart, and yeah, it's a fun video game. And then the last Lego game I have on the PlayStation 3 is Lego Star Wars The Force Awakens. I also have this on PS4. I have the Platinum on the PS4. The reason I got this one again was because I have the Platinum, and of course I'm doing this Lego series, and so I just felt like it would make more sense if I just got it on a different console and did 100% again. It's not a bad game to 100%, but overall I enjoy Lego Force Awakens. I really do. Again, this was during a time when, you know, Star Wars wasn't as divided as it was now. But even still, I just remember I did at the time think it was odd that we just got one Lego, like a Lego game based off of one movie. I did think that was a bit odd at the time. Like I finished it, like I literally finished it in like 2 days, give or take. But it's wow, I just realized it only takes up 3 megabytes. That is crazy. That's crazy. Crazy times we used to live in. But yeah, I definitely, again, I just got this again because I'm gonna get the Platinum for when I get around to it for this Lego series. But I do enjoy Lego Star Wars Force Awakens. I think it's in a weird spot now with Skywalker Saga out and everything, but I still find it fun. Next up we have Little Big Planet 2. I do have Little Big Planet 1, but I have a digital version. I don't remember how, but I have it for free. I don't know how I got it. But yeah, Little Big Planet, this is another series I'm really sad like with the fate of what happened to Little Big Planet, but I have nothing but fond memories. These Little Big Planet, really all the Little Big Planet games, these are games that I played with my sister back when we were younger, and so I have a very like special place for the Little Big Planet games as well. Little Big Planet 2, I didn't play this one as much as the first Little Big Planet, but I did play through it all the way. It was fun at the time, had a good time with it. Definitely would like to revisit this at some point because I miss Little Big Planet, I really do. It kind of sucks now that you can't like I guess you can create the levels, but you can't play other created levels, which is always a fun like thing to do in the Little Big Planet games. I really liked exploring surprisingly, I liked exploring other levels in the first game. I don't think I ever did that with the second one or even the third one. But yeah, the Little Big Planet series, I love them, and Little Big Planet 2 is the only one I have physical. But yeah, I would love to revisit it one of these days. Okay, we got an interesting one here. Madagascar 2 Escape to Africa. I almost messed up that title. But yeah, this is another game I got when I was younger. Probably just at GameStop randomly, and we saw the movie, so I'm like, hey, you may as well get the game. And I don't remember too much about it. I do remember playing a decent chunk of this game when I was a kid. I do remember that. I'm pretty sure there's multiplayer in this, so I'm pretty confident I played this one with my sister as well. Yeah, I just don't remember it all that well. I do know for sure this is the only Madagascar game that I probably did play all the way. I know Madagascar, the first Madagascar was on PS2. I probably rented that from Blockbuster, played maybe an hour of that. I never even touched Madagascar 3. But yeah, Madagascar 2, I do remember playing a good chunk of that when this came out. And of course, once I saw it again, I was again cruising the aisles, second of Charles. I saw it, had to get it. It was only like $10.75, not too bad. So Madagascar 2 in my collection. And then we get into easily one of my favorite video game franchises of all time, Mass Effect 2. Come on, dog. Now again, got that pre-owned GameStop sleeve, so I'm definitely gonna hunt for the actual like box art for this one. But Mass Effect 2, this was honestly, I think, my introduction into RPGs. I do remember my dad had this for his 360. I played maybe a little bit of it when it came out, but then I got it for my PS3 at some point. Well, my dad got it for the PS3 at some point. Again, thanks, Dad. Yeah, played a good chunk of it before Mass Effect 3 came out. I think that's when I really got into it, before that one came out. And this was back when I was still relatively new to RPGs, so I didn't understand the whole like ins and out of it all. I was just kind of going with the flow. I remember like when we got to this, because I actually did finish this one back when I played it, and I remember I get to the Suicide Squad mission and like, I don't know, I had like 3 or 4 people die. Again, I just was not super into like the ins and outs of it compared to when I played it. I had the Legendary Edition on my PC back in 2021 as well, and I was more like knowledgeable about that stuff at the time. And so yeah, Mass Effect 2, pretty easy. I'm pretty sure yeah, I actually don't have any of the platinums for Mass Effect. Only played really the only like I got into it really when I got the Legendary Edition on my PC. And I have a good chunk of the trophies on Steam. I have Steam achievements. And so yeah, at some point whenever I do replay the trilogy, I'm definitely gonna go for the trophies and PS3 version of these. I also got the Legendary Edition on my PS4, so we're gonna get them there as well. But yeah, there's Mass Effect 2, and then there's also Mass Effect 3. I do remember playing this one as well for the PS3. I got this one on day one, played it probably a good 3 weeks to a month straight. And of course, I got to the ending. I didn't really understand the whole, well, I mean, I wasn't really on the internet like that at the time. And so it really wasn't until like a couple years later when I realized how bad or how mad people were about the ending. And I'm kind of impartial. I understand why people are mad about it, but the ending is not all Mass Effect 3 is. This still is a really quality worthy RPG. It's definitely more action focused, I think, compared to even Mass Effect 2, but still I enjoy all the Mass Effect games. I enjoy Mass Effect 3. I do think so let me wait. But yeah, Mass Effect 3, I mean, come on, dude. You have to have the whole trilogy. But we're not done. Cause I also got the whole trilogy in this book set. So let me open it. Well, there's the front with Male Shepherd, and then the back with the Normandy. And then if we open it up some more, we have N7, the N7 emblem. And then if we open it up even more, we have the trilogy. We have I don't know my directions here. This Mass Effect 2, Mass Effect 3, and then like a little booklet right there. But I mean, yeah, dude, like this is so silly because I have Mass Effect, I have it digitally on my PS3. I remember I played it on the PS3 back during like the COVID days, and so I was just at GameStop one morning. This is probably a couple years ago too. I just happened to see it in there, and I'm like, bro, I have to get it. I have to get it. Even though I have all 3 of them on my PS3, I'm getting this. And so I have double dipped on Mass Effect. At this point, I think I've like quadruple dipped on Mass Effect because I have the Legendary Edition on PS3, Legendary Edition on PC, Legendary Edition on PS4. I have the trilogy for PS3, like just in this booklet. We have Mass Effect 3, Mass Effect 2, and also Mass Effect. I have a digital version of it on my PS3. So I have quadruple dipped into this game. I will probably quintuple dip if I ever get it on Xbox one of these days. But I love Mass Effect. I really do. I have some statues back there. You can't really see them, but I have Male Shep in the center and then Femme Shep on the next to him. I love Mass Effect. I really do. So like one of these days, I think whenever the channel gets bigger, that's when I would like to cover it. I don't really want to cover it right now. Like I just want to save all the games that I really love for when I get a bigger following. That's just how I am right now. A few more M games, not M rated, but just games that start with the letter M. Max Payne 3, another one of those games my dad had on the Xbox 360 that I just happened to get on my PS3 whenever I got it again. So let me actually go back on that. So I got my first PS3 back in, I think, 2009 as a Christmas gift, and then had it for 4 years, traded that in when the PS4 came out, and then back in probably 2017, 2018, once I started working a job, I had money, I'm like, I missed the PS3, I'm gonna get it again. So that's when I got the PS3, and then that's really when I got majority of these games, is when I first got the PS3. And so Max Payne 3 was one of them that I got. My dad had those on the 360. I played a decent chunk of it at the time. I remember the Xbox version had 2 discs, and I remember getting to that second one. I just never finished it. And so once I got the PS3 again, this was one of those first games I got. Didn't get too far into this. I only played the first mission on the PS3. Unfortunately, you cannot get the platinum because of multiplayer trophies, unfortunately. So I'm kind of going back and forth on whenever I do play the Max Payne games, if I'm just gonna play them on PC, because I think I have Max Payne 3 on PC. I know I have the first 2, but I don't know if I have the third one. But yeah, this one. So for those who don't know, Max Payne, at least the first 2 are made by Remedy, and then this one was by I think they did it in conjunction with Rockstar, but I think the first 2 really are Remedy games, whereas this one is just a pure Rockstar game. So just a little fun fact, I guess. Yeah. Next up, we have the Metal Gear Solid HD collection, which includes Metal Gear Solid 2, Metal Gear Solid 3, and Peace Walker. Metal Gear Solid is a blind spot in my gaming repertoire, my gaming satchel. I'm making up stuff at this point, but these are games I've just always heard about, but just never played myself. The only one I've really played is Phantom Pain, and the only reason I played Phantom Pain is because I remember they were getting like 10 out of 10 reviews from every outlet at the time. And so I don't really know much about the Metal Gear Solid franchise. Funny enough, 3 is another one of those games I played when it was back on the PlayStation Now service, but I didn't play too much of it. I also know it was on 3DS. I'm pretty sure I played like a demo of it on the 3DS at the time, but I do not know too much about the Metal Gear Solid games. I just know the timeline could be a little confusing because this isn't new for video games, because a lot of games do this, but Metal Gear Solid 3 takes place before Metal Gear Solid 1, and there's also different versions of the boss, and like Snake, I think, and I don't know. It can get pretty confusing from a newcomer like me. It's just, I just listen to people talk about it, and I'm just like, huh, okay, cool. That's literally it. But again, this is another one of those things, I don't know if I would play the PS3 version, because I did buy the version that came out not too long ago for the PS4 and PS5. And so the only reason I might play this one is because of Peace Walker. I don't think that one is on those versions. I could be wrong, but that's probably the only reason I would still play this, because I have those versions over on the PlayStation 5. I'd much rather just play those as opposed to this one, personally. Next up, we have Metal Gear Solid 4. What's the subtitle? Guns of the Patriots. I just figured, you know, as you can see, it was only like $2.99, $2.49 if you're a pro member, which my dad is. I just use his account because he doesn't really go to GameStop that much. And so, I mean, this is the only, as far as I know, this is the only Metal Gear Solid game now that's locked onto the PlayStation 4. I think Peace Walker still is like, that's a weird one. Or I said PS4, PS3, my bad. This might get remastered one day. I know a lot of people, we look at the version, the one that came to the PS5, that's like volume 1. So if they do volume 2, I'd imagine this one will come over there. We'll just have to wait and see, because again, still architecture, whatever. I mean, I guess you can just do a remaster of it, but yeah, this one, don't know too much about this one. I just know there's a cutscene at the end that's like an hour and a half, which is insane. Gotta love Hideo Kojima and his long cutscenes. But yeah, I don't know too much about this. Again, this is another version of Snake, or the boss. I don't know Metal Gear. I sound super ignorant right now, but one of these days I will play them. I will play through all the Metal Gear games. I'm committed. All right, so stepping out of that, we have Mirror's Edge, which I don't know where I got this from, because the box is just busted. You see that? Crazy work. I don't know who was chomping on this case, but yeah, Mirror's Edge. Play this one. I've actually played the intro of this quite a bit. I don't imagine. I'm pretty sure I got this on eBay. I'm pretty sure I docked the dude because of that. But anyway, I played the intro of this quite a bit. Just one of those underrated gems from the PS3 360 era that I love to play one day. I've been actually, so funny enough, I had this plan to like go through a game and platinum a game from like each year, from like the start of the play, like whenever they started doing trophies. And this is one of those games I had on there. And one of these days, again, I'm saying that so many times in this video, but I will get around to Mirror's Edge. I so genuinely, I do enjoy the parkour aspect of Mirror's Edge. From what I have played, I do enjoy that aspect. And so I guess we'll just have to see how everything else holds up, like story and just, I guess, more of the gameplay as we get further into it. But yeah, Mirror's Edge, I will get to you. And the last up for the M's, Mortal Kombat. This is my entry point into the Mortal Kombat franchise, Mortal Kombat 9. As you can see on the PS3 version, you can play as Kratos, which is a really cool offering. But yeah, my entry point, I don't really know what prompted me to get this game, to be honest. I just remember, I guess, seeing something about it and I thought it looked cool. And so I remember this is one of those few games where I was like calculating my trade-in value for some of the games that I had in my collection that I would have to trade in. And then I think my dad had a coupon that he let me use. Think like that, my dad is clutch when it comes to GameStop and whatnot. But yeah, this is one of those early games, or my entry point. Trying to think. I remember just gory. This is like my first real, like, to be honest, like this was, I think I was 11 when I played this. It didn't really get me that bad, the gore and stuff. I was kind of surprised because even though I'm like kind of used to gore, there are some things where I'm like, that's a little too much for me. This one actually was not that bad. I mean, fatalities, you know, they were pretty cool to see. The X-rays, I think this is the first game that had X-rays, which was also really cool. I remember I couldn't play this for my sister because she was still pretty young at the time, and so I'm pretty sure that stuff would have scarred her. And so I remember one morning I played it, and she was just like hiding under her covers, and she was like, it sounds like they're breaking chips whenever I did like the X-ray or something. I don't know, just a funny memory I have. But yeah, Mortal Kombat 9, I really wish that the multiplayer trophies weren't disabled. Like, you can still get them, even though like there's one, like, I think Your Kung Fu is Stronger is one of the trophies in this game where you have to play as like every character for 24 hours or something. That definitely would have been a grind, but if the multiplayer wasn't a factor, I could see myself going for the platinum on this. I really do. This is, I think to this day, still my favorite Mortal Kombat game. I have played a little bit of, aside from this, I played probably Mortal Kombat 10 or Mortal Kombat X the most. I played a little bit of 11, and then I played a little bit of Mortal Kombat 1 recently. But this one, I think, is just the one I hold on to fondly. I just have the most memories with this one. I got the PS Vita version of this one as well. And so, yeah, I just had a lot of fun with this. Getting into something a little weirder, we have Never Dead. How much was it? $20. This is another one of those games where it's like, it's not great, which is probably the main reason I got it. The main gimmick is like, you don't have a health bar, I don't think. It's just your body parts, whenever you get shot, they just come off. I guess that's your health bar. So I guess at some point, the only thing you can control if you take too much damage is your head. If you can't find your body parts in time, that's how you die. Interesting premise, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. A lot of people don't like this one, which is the main reason I got it. And so I'm definitely curious to check this one out though, because the premise does sound interesting, but I guess, is the execution that good? That's the question that we shall find out. A relic. PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale. So this one I had this one on the Vita. I primarily had this on the Vita. I didn't get this one until on PlayStation 3 until too long ago. And so, yeah, I remember playing this on the Vita. I had such a blast. I bet you're wondering who I mained in this game. Hold on, of course, had to main my dude, Cole McGrath. Now, which one? Because it was actually the good version, the evil version. I went with the evil version, I'm pretty sure. Because I like being bad. It makes me happy. If you get that reference, I appreciate you. But yeah, so PS3 or Vita version is the one I primarily played. I did get it eventually on the PS3. I don't remember when exactly. I actually don't know when I got this on PS3. But I mean, dude, even though it is essentially a Super Smash Brothers clone, and there's only like a weird way of taking out enemies as compared to how in Super Smash Bros. You have the meter. This one you have to like get a certain move to knock people out. It's kind of weird, but I can appreciate PlayStation for this. Was like a time when PlayStation wasn't afraid to get wacky and weird with some of their games, and I just really miss that. I really do. I really think nowadays, because we're seeing a lot more like Smash Brothers clones, I guess. I think with PlayStation's current lineup of game or characters they have, this really could slap in 2025 or 20 like in the 2020s, I think, because I mean, you can throw in Aloy, you can throw in Astrobot, you can throw in Joel and Ellie and Abby, you can again bring back the old characters like Cole, the Killzone people, Nathan Drake. There's some people who are in this that kind of like, why are you in here? Like the Big Daddy. It's like, why are you in here? You know? But I really do think this game could like slap nowadays with the amount of people we have. Celine from Returnal, the new version in Soros. I don't know. I forgot his, like the actual guy's name in the game, but you don't know if you've seen the thing, you know who I'm talking about. But yeah, I had a lot of fun with PlayStation All Stars Battle Royale. A really fun Vita game. Yeah, it was just a fun time. Next up, we have some, I guess, more classics from the PS2. Prince of Persia, the trilogy. I got this one after playing The Lost Crown, which I really loved. More people need to play The Lost Crown, but it really prompted me to get the trilogy because I never played a Prince of Persia game. I'm missing one. I need to find it really quick. But Prince of Persia, I just figured, you know, Sands of Time, I think is the one that a lot of people really talk about. And so I think the second and third one, not as much, but I got this because I liked The Lost Crown. I figured it'd be worth picking up the trilogy. I got it for, sheesh, it was $30 when I got this. But I mean, 3 games, $10 a game. That's not terrible, I guess. It has one of the taglines, or like one of the main selling points, over 30 hours of gameplay on one Blu-ray disc. Crazy seller right there. That, I mean, for real though, that is kind of crazy. Let's see, remaster in full HD, full 3D stereoscopic view integrated in each game. I really like, dude, remember when 3D was blowing up? That was such a crazy time. Like, crazy. I wonder if they, like, you can still get 3D TVs. I remember PlayStation had a TV where I guess the 3D was the main gimmick, but yeah, 3D, man, what a time. What a time. It's funny, I saw Tron Ares in 3D yesterday, and so it's kind of random, you know? 3D, man. So I thought I had the reboot of Prince of Persia, the one that came out with Nolan North, but I guess I don't. I vividly remember having it. I remember playing a little bit of it, but I cannot find it. It might be in this room somewhere. I don't know. Maybe it's one of those games I did trade in or something. But anyway, moving on with the P's. Yeah, Prototype. This one I actually remember. This one I got I was in 5th grade, but this game came out in 2009, and so I got this 2011, 2012ish. And so the reason I got it, I remember one of my friend, or I guess a classmate. I don't even know who the kid was anymore. But yeah, this was when Prototype 2 was coming out, and one of them was like, "Oh, you need to get Prototype 2. It's gonna be a fun game. It's so cool or whatnot." And I'm like, "Oh, but I never played Prototype 1." He's like, "Oh, you don't have to play it." But I'm like, "Yeah, yes, you do. If you need to play Prototype 2 to really understand what's going on." But yeah, Prototype. This is one of those games I got like to play Prototype 2. And to be honest, I remember this game being kind of hard when I was a kid. I was like 11ish. And yeah, I just remember this game being super hard for whatever reason. But yeah, I just know a lot of people have like a soft spot for Prototype. This is another one of those games made by Radical Entertainment. I think I don't know. I think the second one was as well. But yeah, one of the last games made by Radical, I'm pretty sure. I think. I could be wrong there as well. But yeah, fun time though, even though it is hard, kind of. I did finish it. I just remember that final boss being like super tough, playing that one like so many times. But yes, so fun time, really fun. I remember like recently, I guess, from like videos I watch about this, a lot of people compare it to Infamous. I know a lot of people want like a Prototype Infamous crossover. I think nowadays that's not gonna happen really. I am curious though what's going to happen with Prototype, because I don't know if any of you guys have seen, but like they recently like quietly updated the credits on the Steam version, I think, which I think many people believe is like, oh, are they going to remaster Prototype, or are they going to make a new Prototype? I'm very interested to see what they do with that. But yeah, Prototype, fun game. Also a fun game, Prototype 2. Again, I got this as soon as I finished the first prototype. Pretty sure I traded in prototype for this, and then prototype 1. So thing with prototype, these also have versions on the PS4. So the reason I got prototype 1 was because this is when I was going to do like, oh, I platinum prototype on PS3 and PS4, which I probably will not do nowadays because the trophy lists are pretty much the same, but they're hard. You have to play the game like 3 times, and I do not want to play a game 6 times. I really do not. And so once I get to it, I don't know. I know I have like a decent chunk of trophies in this version, so I don't know. It just kind of depends. But yeah, prototype 2. Another fun one. Definitely looks better than prototype. That's one of the things I can remember and say about this. This one looks way better than the first prototype. I mean, this is one of those games where it's kind of like, you know how I think a lot of gamers complain nowadays about sequels feeling pretty much the same as the first game. Like they always say the sequels are like DLC. I can definitely find that argument being made for prototype, because when you think about it, it's a very similar to prototype 1. There are definitely a lot more like different powers and stuff, but fundamentally it is pretty similar to prototype, which is just why I can't really like talk too much about prototype 2. Again, just look better, plays pretty good. The story, as with the story, you're going after Alex Mercer from the first game, which is kind of a cool concept. But I mean, other than that, I don't remember too much about prototype 2. It's been a long time, but I definitely feel like it's one of those fun cleanup games. I remember watching a review of this not too long ago, and yeah, it just seems like a fun cleanup game. So maybe like if I'm in the mood for one of these days, I'll kick it back on. Pretty sure I have a good amount of trophies in this too, so who knows. Next up we have a Rage Bethesda game. Before we really got into the RPG bag, or got serious about the RPG bag, even though there is a sequel to it. But yeah, Bethesda joint. Don't really know what prompted me to get this either in the first place. I really don't. I didn't play much of it when I first got it, but I did play it whenever Rage 2 was coming out. I remember playing like the whole story then. A fun game. Interesting ideas, a fun driving mechanic, but other than that, I can't really tell you too much about it. But I probably will revisit this one day. There are multiplayer trophies. I think the servers are still online, so maybe I can be able to get the platinum on this. If not though, pretty sure I can easily get it on the PC and just play it that way. Next up is Ratchet and Clank the Trilogy. Actually, I found this at a Goodwill. So a really rare find from them. I don't remember how much I paid for it though, but like, cause you see the GameStop sticker says 30, but I don't even know if I paid 30 when I got it. No, $5.99. Crazy deal, bro, over 3 games. Now, I hope it works. I actually have never played it. I got it like 3 years ago. Just never thought to put it in anything or something. So I really hope that this works. But yeah, the Ratchet and Clank trilogy, the only one I guess I've really played is the first Ratchet and Clank, and that's only through the reboot that we got for the PS4 whenever the movie was coming out. That's the only like my only like knowledge of Ratchet and Clank 1. So yeah, again, at some point I would honestly like to do like, you know, all the Ratchet and Clank games in the series. And of course, you know, we got these 3, and then there's a lot for the PS3 actually. I have one more actually. Ratchet and Clank Into the Nexus. This is another one that I got from Goodwill for $6. And I mean, yeah, they were just there, so I just kind of got both of them. Again, there's a lot of PS3 Ratchet and Clank games that I need to play. I did play a demo of one. I don't remember which one it was. It's whichever one has the box art where like it's split in half and one faces Ratchet and one faces Clank. I played the demo of that one. That's the only one I played the demo of. But yeah, so again, I mean, it was next to Ratchet and Clank the Trilogy, so I just got it, and that's one less game that I need to worry about getting whenever I play the Ratchet and Clank trilogy, or not trilogy, but all the Ratchet and Clank games. The only ones I have played are that one that came out in 2016 and Rift Apart. Those are the only two Ratchet and Clank games I've really played. So it would definitely be fun revisiting one of PlayStation's core IPs from that time. Next up, we have Red Dead Redemption. Another one of those games that my dad had on his 360 that I played a decent chunk of at the time, but of course I was never into the story or anything. It was always just fun messing around in the open world, putting in cheat codes, going crazy, all that jazz. And so once I got this a couple times actually. I got this again back in like, I don't know, 2010, 2011 for the PS3. And then I got it again before Red Dead Redemption 2 came out because I wanted to play this one before I played that one. And yeah, it's a fun game. I really enjoy Red Dead Redemption, a very interesting Rockstar game. I know this isn't technically the first in the Red Dead series. There's also Red Dead Revolver. But I think this is the most well-known version of Red Dead Redemption 1 and Red Dead Redemption 2. I also do have the PS4 version because if I ever decide to go for the Platinum, that's probably the one I'm going to go with. I know this one, the multiplayer, as far as I know, is still up and running, but I just don't really want to mess with the multiplayer in this if I don't have to. I know I have trophies in this, but this might just be one of those games I kind of just let sit on the trophy list unfinished and just get the Platinum in the PS4 version since there's no multiplayer in that one. I don't care if it's the easier route. I just rather do it. But yeah, Red Dead Redemption, a very fun Rockstar game. Yeah, that's really all I gotta say. Then we have Red Faction Armageddon. I think probably the most well-regarded, most well-known version of Red Faction. Another Volition series. Trying to think. I know there's two that came out on the PlayStation 2, and then there's this one, and then there's a one that came out after this one. I don't remember the name of it though. I remember seeing like the box art of it. It looked pretty dope. But yeah, Armageddon, hold on. No, I'm thinking this is the one with the cool box art. Hold on. I have to do some. Yeah, no, I was tripping. This is the one that came out after Gorilla. I was thinking about Gorilla the whole time. So Gorilla's the one that's well regarded, and then this is the one that came out after that one. Okay, I got them mixed up. I really did. See, not having the box art really screws you over, you know? But yeah, so this one, I think I just got this one because it was on sale. But yeah, box art was cool when I was a kid. Of course, Gorilla, I think, is the one that a lot of people regard as the best out of all the Red Faction games. There's only 4, I believe. But now if the Volition is gone, I think the IP got sold to someone else, but are we ever going to see anything with Red Faction again? Who knows, man? Who knows? But no, I would also, since I'm on like this Volition kick with the Saints Row series, I think it would be natural to just go into Red Faction. I mean, it is canon in the Saints Row series, but Ultor and stuff. But yeah, I think I will revisit this soon, or I will visit this sooner rather than later. I honestly don't know what prompted me to get this one. Remember Me? This is another one of those late PS3 games. Came out 2013. Pretty sure this came out like around the time The Last of Us came out, I think. But I don't know. I don't know why I got this. I remember just randomly, I think maybe seeing this somewhere, watching a review for it, and I'm like, oh, this would be a cool game to cover for something. I don't think trophies would have made much sense because, not to be funny, but who remembers Remember Me? You know what I mean? That was lame, I'm sorry. But I think this will be a fun review, retrospective kind of thing to play. I do have the PC version, so I don't know. The only real reason The only real reason I would play this is because of trophies. The reason I was kind of like stumble is because the highest resolution is 720p, which I think for a game that came out in 2013, it's kind of wild. I mean, there were games that were, when it first came out, that were pushing 1080. So I do find it kind of weird that we're still dropping 720p games in the big 2013. But yeah, aside from that, if I ever do decide to play it, because I do think from what I have like seen, the premise seems interesting. So I definitely do think I'm gonna play it at some point, but I just don't know what version. I mean, it'd be cool to get trophies, but I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'll just stick with playing on PC.
3 hours later.
We're back. Had to do some Sunday errands, get ready for the week. All right, continuing with the R's, and the next PlayStation series that I know a lot of fans would like to see come back, Resistance. Starting with Fall of Man. I don't know too much about the Resistance franchise, to be honest. I've heard about them. I've heard about them again through like videos and stuff, and so I just picked this up because it was cheap. Resistance Fall of Man. This was an early PS3 game, like 2006, I think. And I played like a little bit of this, maybe like an hour or so, and it's a game. It's the game of all time. No, it's just the controls were a little weird to me. They're just wonky. I think if I play it now, it'd just take me a minute to get used to. I don't know. I don't really remember. Again, just that was really like my main takeaway from when I played it. When I first got this, I don't even know when. It's just the controls were a little weird. But other than that, I feel like it's a solid shooter. I mean, they made 3 of them, so I'm pretty sure they're all good. So I got Resistance, and then I got Resistance 2. I know there's like a weird plot twist at the end. That's about it. And yeah, it feels heavy. So yeah, a nice thick manual. How many pages we talking? See, we're in 20s. Oh, what's this? Hold on. PlayStation Underground. I can't say I'm familiar with this. Maybe some of the old PlayStation fans can kind of comment whatever this is. I might be outing something I don't even know by blasting this address. Register all your games now to make sure you get the inside scoop on PlayStation. So it's just like a magazine. I'm gonna assume that's what this is. It's like a magazine. That's probably why it's so thick too, because it's a thick piece of paper. But there's like 30 pages in here. And so there's that, and there's also this cool ad for the PSP, man. A relic here, ahead of its time, as many people will say. And I kind of agree. I do feel like the PSP paired with the DS, I would say they're like ahead of their time. I would honestly. I had both of them. I probably put more time into my PSP than my DS, but I did have both. Just realized Insomniac made these, an early Insomniac series. I mean, they're doing strong now with like Spider-Man, Wolverine. And so who knows, man, maybe one day they'll decide to resurrect the Resistance franchise. But yeah, Resistance, again, I just know that twist ending in Resistance 2, that's about it. Resistance 3, know absolutely nothing about this one as well. And so, yeah, I guess this is a franchise I gotta play at some point, especially since Insomniac is like doing really, they're on a hot streak right now with Spider-Man, Ratchet and Clank, Bobby Wolverine. So yeah, looking forward to all that. Next up we have probably one of the worst games of all time, Ride to Hell Retribution. Only reason I got this because I hear it's one of the worst games of all time. I would like to play it one day to see how well that title holds up. I've seen gameplay of this, bits and pieces of it. Hold on, bro. We gotta point this out. Can y'all see that? Hold on. You gotta let it focus. What is going on here, man? Like, what is happening? I just know, like, there shows you where my mind goes to. There's like some scenes where you're dry humping in this game. That's that's like the main takeaway from what I've seen in some videos. That, and then the writing is janky. I played a little bit of this when I first got it. I got on eBay like a couple years ago. I played for like maybe 10 minutes. I popped a trophy, surprisingly. And so, hey man, we might get the platinum for this one day and just talk about how bad the game is, because judging by the back of this box, there's some interesting stuff to behold. Speaking of bad video games, to round out the R's, we have Rogue Warrior. Again, I only got this because I heard it was bad. Mickey Rourke plays, what the freak, what? Okay, so I'm just reading the back. Play as real life legend, play as Richard Demo Dick Marcinko. What? Demo Dick? What is happening here. And so I know this is based off a true story. It's based off like this book, I guess Marcinko wrote way back when, and this, you know, good grief, just the back of it's not like even like a manual kind of thing, it's just like a description of what it is. But bro, this is interesting. I doubt I will, if I ever do decide to play this, I doubt I'm gonna get the platinum because there's multiplayer in this. I'm gonna assume there's multiplayer trophies in the game, and I doubt there's anyone playing the multiplayer for Rogue Warrior and the big 2.5. I think this was another Bethesda game. The sticker's kind of covering it up, but I do think it was another Bethesda game. Oh, never mind, it's right here. It says Bethesda, kind of hard to see, but yeah, it's Bethesda game. Just a very wild Bethesda, man. A different Bethesda, I can tell you that. Oh wait, is that, oh damn. Oh no, so I know, because I'm just reading, I'm looking at the front. Above where it says Rogue Warrior, it's kind of hard to see. Let me see, yeah. Above where it says Rogue Warrior, it says Dick Marcinko. And I just know, like, Dick is another term for Richard. I personally don't understand the context. If you want to explain that in the comments, feel free. Because, yeah, my dad always makes that joke. I'm just like, I don't get it. But yeah, feel free to let me know. But yeah, one day we'll touch on Right to Hell Retribution, Rogue Warrior, Duke Nukem Forever, all the bad video games from the 7th generation, pretty much. All right, moving on to the S's. We have a lot of games that start with the letter S, and the first one that we're going to talk about is Saboteur. I have heard very interesting things about this game. This was one of Pandemic's last video games. This actually came out after they closed down, but I've just heard some very interesting things. Pretty much the basis is if you're changing the city of Paris with reactions. I'm just kind of reading off the back of the box right now, and basically, if you've never like heard or seen any gameplay of this, the whole game, at least from what I've seen, is in black and white. And as you're going through, I think you're fighting Nazis in this. I believe that's what you're fighting. But as you're going through and you're, you know, taking them down, infiltrating their bases, just destroying stuff, the city gradually regains color. And I think that's a really neat idea. I feel like it might be an underrated gem. I don't really know. I know like I've seen a few retrospectives about this like the last few months, and so I think it'd be really cool to check this one out. Again, RP Pandemic, you know, EA, of course, they probably bought it. They bought it, I don't remember when. I watched a whole video about this, but yeah, they bought Pandemic, I think sometime after they did Battlefront 2 or Destroy All Humans 2, and just, you know how EA is. They love to shut studios down, and so poor faith for Pandemic, and I think Saboteur, at least Saboteur did hit, so, you know, they did go out with a bang. But I definitely would like to try this out one day. I know there's a weird, we're getting into the Duffy here. There's a weird bit of DLC with this. I think there's like so there's showgirls in this game, and the only reason I know this is because of the YouTube video where it's talking about, like, I guess worst DLC or just, I don't remember, something about DLC. And so yeah, there's showgirls in this game, but, you know, they're not topless. I think they either might have bras on or they have pasties on, one of the two. But there's DLC to remove that, and, you know, that's a weird fact that I know about the game. I don't think you can get that now. You know, I wouldn't get it, if you know what I mean. But yeah, there's a weird fun fact about Saboteur. So definitely, I actually really do want to check this out sooner rather than later, to get serious. Like this, the premise of it does sound really cool. So one of these days, it's gonna happen. Do not have a case for this one, but that is fine because I actually did not play it physical. Saints Row the Third. This was not my entry point into the Saints Row franchise. That would be Saints Row 2, which I mentioned in the Saints Row 2 and Saints Row the Third video, but this is the one that really got me into the franchise. Like, I played a ton of Saints Row 2, but I think Saints Row the Third was like what really put Saints Row on my radar. Because I never finished Saints Row 2. I simply just like played it, messed around with it, pinning cheat codes and whatnot. I don't think I ever played like through the story all the way until recently. But yeah, Saints Row the Third, since you didn't need to do activities to gain respect, and that's how you progress through the story, I was able to just kind of like play through it. I did put in cheat codes for it, which is why I recently got the platinum, like a couple back in like 2024, like a year ago actually. And yeah, it's just a fun time, fun game. Not the best Saints Row game, but one that I have a lot of fun with, and I can, easily revisit, even though it's one of the weaker Saints Row games. Well, I shouldn't say weaker. Just I think when I look at the whole franchise as a whole, I put it down there. But then continuing, speaking of that, I probably should mention that because the reason I'm not doing the digital, like going over my digital library, is just because it's not that large on PS3. But I do have Saints Row 2 digitally on PS3. That's how I played it the first time for the retrospective I made back in 2023. But I have recently gotten it on Xbox. I played it again last year, actually. I played it on Xbox just because backwards compatibility on Xbox is a lot better, I would say, than just natively playing it on PS3. Plus, there's achievements for Saints Row 2 on the 360, which they don't have on PS3, which is unfortunate, but hey man, it is what it is. I did I played a ton of that when I played on PS3 the first time, so I'm not really complaining. But Saints Row 2 is digital, Saints Row the Third physical, which I actually got recently when I was getting serious about the Saints Row series and wanted to at least go back and play. I knew at some point I wanted to platinum the PS3 version of Saints Row the Third, and so that's why I got that one. Same reason I got Saints Row 4 as well, even though I have the PS4 I'll just say the port of the PS4 or this version for the PS4. I still got Saints Row 4 for the PS3. I only got it for like $6, $6.50, which isn't too bad. See, this one is the Commander in Chief edition, but does it actually? I think it's just the case. I'm pretty sure everything else is still just. Oh, what is this? What's this code? Oh, never mind. There was a DLC code, but can I still use it? I might have to check it out. Or nah, never mind. This is just why I got day one, which I actually think I did. I think I did get this version anyway. But anyway, yeah, Saints Row 4 got this one day one on PS3, and I had a blast with it. I'm pretty confident I finished it before Grand Theft Auto 5 came out, because it's, to be completely honest, it is a short game. I think out of all, except for the reboot, which I played recently, this is definitely the shortest out of the four, like the first four Saints Row games. Like I 100% the game in like 20 hours. I'm pretty sure I could have completed the campaign in solid 10, 12. So yeah, this is not a long game at all, but I don't find it to be too bad. You've always seen my, I want to say you all, because I don't know who watches my stuff, but I mean, I've laid it out in my retrospective. I enjoyed this game a lot more than I think people really give it credit for. I know a lot of people are going to disagree, which is fine. A lot of people do not like this game, which is also fine. I still enjoy it. It's not the best, but it's definitely one of the better Saints Row games, in my opinion. I'm not going to say that's fact. That's just my opinion. I mean, yeah, dude, I had a blast playing it back in 2013. I had a blast playing it back in 2023. I enjoyed talking about it for that retrospective. And I mean, yeah, dude, there's really, like, I don't want to be a broken record here, but I really, really like my time with Saints Row 4. And the PS3 version, I would like to go back and get the platinum for this at some point, because we got the platinum for the PS4 version. I still need to do the DLC, like all the trophies for that, but yeah, I definitely want to at least get the platinum for Saints Row 4. That's for sure. Next up, we have Skate 3. Now, I'm pretty sure I know for sure I had Skate 2 on the PS3 as well, but that's just one of those games I just sold at some point. Skate, I think my dad might have gotten that on his 360. I cannot remember. I know for a fact though I did play the first Skate game. But yeah, Skate 3, I think compared to Skate 2, a lot of people, if you ask like the Skate community, they're gonna prefer 2 over 3, because this one came out I think a year after Skate 2, and it's really more like an incremental upgrade. There's not really anything too drastic or like game changing with Skate 3 to my knowledge. And so I think a lot of people don't, I say a lot of people don't look at 3 fondly as 2, but to be completely honest, when I look at like TikToks and stuff, it's always Skate 3. Like I always see TikToks about Skate 3, never really anything from the earlier skates. And so it's always like a weird, like, which one is better amongst the community? I don't really know. But Skate 3, I do remember getting this. This was a Christmas gift I got in like 2010, 2011. And it's more Skate. I think out of all the Skate games, Skate 2 is the one that I probably remember the most. I think that's the one I did play the most. I don't really remember playing too much of Skate 3. Of course, you know, Coach Frank, you can't forget about Coach Frank. You can't forget about that stellar opening with I put on for my city. You know what I mean? Like, that's just iconic with skate games. But yeah, Skate 3 is a weird one, to say the least. I am currently like kind of in and out playing through the new version of Skate that's in early access, and so I think before I make a video on that, I might go back and play Skate 3 just because that's the most recent one, and just see how they compare, see like mechanically how things are. I know a lot of people prefer the art style of the earlier I'm still on Saints Row. Prefer the art style of the earlier Skate games over the new Skate. I don't really mind it, but then again, it's been a while since I played this, and so I don't know. It would be cool to just revisit it one day. I think I will at some point, just before I make a Skate video in the future. And then we have Spec Ops: The Line, probably one of the most underrated games from the PlayStation 360 era. I keep saying that it's 7th generation. I do know like the generations and stuff. It's just that's what pops in my mind when I first say it. But yeah, Spec Ops: The Line. I do remember this making waves back in like 2012, 2013. I think it was 2012 when this came out. I could be wrong, you know, correct me if I'm wrong. But 2012, and then, you know, I just remember seeing it, but just, you know, didn't think too much about it. I'm actually surprised my dad never got this because he was in the military at the time and he likes a good military shooter. But yeah, he just never picked this up. I never picked this up until I saw videos about how good the story was in this. And so that's how I ended up getting it. I did play through the entire game back in like 2017, 2018, just randomly. I'd have to go through my trophy list to see. And I mean, it was good. I enjoyed it. The shooting's okay. You know, nothing too crazy. It's a third-person shooter. But yeah, I think the story is what a lot of people remember about Spec Ops: The Line, and it does live up to it. The story is really good, based off of a book, I believe. Don't know the name of the book, but it is based off a book, yeah. I won't say true story. I'm pretty sure it is, but I won't go that far. But story's good. Nolan North plays the main like guy that we are. I forgot his name, but I mean, yeah, Spec Ops. I would say if you haven't played it, you should. But it's been delisted like a few years ago for, I think, music licensing or something. I cannot quite remember. But it's really a bummer that you can't get it digitally. The only way you can get it now is just a physical PS3 360 copy. I actually do have this one on Steam as well. But I might, if I ever go back to it, just PS3 version, get those. I actually think I will, because I don't believe this has multiplayer trophies. I could be wrong about that, but I feel like it would be a pretty straightforward platinum if it doesn't have multiplayer trophies. There is a multiplayer mode, but I don't remember those trophies or not. But yeah, that's Spec Ops: The Line. Good story. If you do have it and you haven't played it, I recommend it. But yeah, if you can't, I don't know. It'd be hard. Probably eBay be your best bet. Who knows how much they're running on eBay nowadays though, just because it's not digital anymore. So good luck with that, man. That's all I can say. Next up, we get into a string of Spider-Man titles. The first one we will start with is The Amazing Spider-Man. I got this one from Blockbuster one night, played it for like a couple nights. That's about it. I never got super far into it, but I know there's some cool things you can do, or, you know, some cool things in the game. You fight like more than just the lizard. You fight Rhino, you fight Scorpion. But what's cool is like they're not, I guess, the versions of how we like think about them in the comics or the Spider-Man media. There's like actual, like, I can show you the box art right now for Rhino. It's like actual like Rhino, I guess. It's dumb when I try to explain it, but I don't know. I just find it cool that they went that route. I know, like I know it's probably common in the comics and stuff, but I don't know, man. It looks cool. But yeah, rented this from Blockbuster. I've seen plenty of videos talking about The Amazing Spider-Man, and so I know pretty much what there is to know about it. You know, plays pretty kind of like Arkham for the most part. You know, the combat, I don't think the hand-to-hand combat is like Arkham, but the stealth definitely borrows from Arkham. There's some cool swinging mechanics that they have with this, and I see you can play it with the PlayStation Move. I'm not really sure how, but I feel like that would be kind of interesting to mess around with. But yeah, I probably have just like a handful of trophies in this one. Again, this my only time playing it was when I rented it from Blockbuster. That's about it. And so whenever one day I do want to do like a Spider-Man, like play through all the main, like I guess for a while, because I had this idea brewing last year where I played through every single Spider-Man game, like all the way back from like Atari stuff, like Atari and moving all the way up. I don't really know if I'm gonna go that far because I'm doing that for Tron right now, and some of the older Tron games are just kind of a chore to play through. I'm just gonna be completely honest. And so yeah, Spider-Man. I know there's like plenty of modern Spider-Mans. I feel like more people my age gravitate towards the modern like your Spider-Man movie tie-in games, your Shattered Dimensions, Edge of Times. I feel like people gravitate more towards that nowadays. And so whenever I do like a Spider-Man series where I play through some Spider-Man games, I definitely would just start with more of the modern Spider-Man games and maybe more, like make my way back. But this is definitely one I would love to check out pretty soon. Just, you know, finish it up. Because I mean, I have played it, I never finished it is all. What I have finished though is The Amazing Spider-Man 2. But not the PS3 version. I played the PS4 version back when that came out in 2014, and I played that a lot. Because that was one of those games where that's the only game I had, so that's the only thing I played. I'm pretty sure when I got on PS4, I played it like twice back to back, and that's just one of those games where I don't know. I feel like at the time when I played it, I was like 13, 14. It's like, I don't agree with the reviewers are saying. This game is fun. But I'm pretty sure if I played it now, I'd disagree. I think just because that's the only game I had, that's all I played, I have a different opinion on it. But, what is it? Oh man, this is where things get interesting because let's say, yeah, so the PSP version, I got this from Second Charles for like $25. $25. And I'm pretty sure if you try to get the PS4 version of this nowadays, it's gonna cost you a pretty penny, which is just why I stuck with this one. Now, I say that, but I would actually like to get the PS4 version one day just so I can finish up that platinum. Because I'm pretty sure I have like 79% of the trophies on the PS4 version. And so this one, again, it's just like, if I ever decide to do that Spider-Man series I was talking about, you know, I can start from scratch or whatever and just, you know, do whatever I have there. Because I think the PS4 version, I still have, like my saves and stuff. And so that's just, you know, just in case. But yeah, I would prefer to get the PS4 version, but this will suffice if I ever have to play it. I did play a little bit just to test it out. And I mean, you know, graphics wise, it looks somewhat similar to the PS4 version. Of course it's not. It's 720p, dude. We're in 2014 and we're still dropping 720p games. That's crazy. But well, I guess that's the main difference. 1080p versus 720. So yeah, that's the Amazing Spider-Man stuff. Then we got Spider-Man 3, the collector's edition. I played Spider-Man 3 a lot when I was a kid. And I have played it a lot in like the last 5 years or so because yeah, so this is from when I was a kid. This, again, movie tie-in games. I loved Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. And to be honest, I liked Spider-Man 3. I was a kid. And you know what? This might be a hot take because I watched they played the trilogy again not too long ago in theaters for me. And hot take, I think Spider-Man 3 is a lot better than I remember it being. It's not a masterpiece by any means, especially compared to 1 and 2. But I think compared to like my preconceived notions and then what people have been saying online about this movie, I don't think it's that bad. Now the game, I can't defend the game. The game is not too great. I have played this so many times. I played it like, so the journey is long here because I've been trying to make a retrospective for Spider-Man 3 for a long time now. And so I think I started playing this in maybe 2021. I played in 2021 and then I kind of had this moment where I'm like, I don't want to do YouTube anymore. So I deleted all my footage, but then literally like a month later, I changed my mind. I'm like, I kind of want to do YouTube again. So I played it again. And then I think I've always held on to the footage on like another thumb drive. I just never like looked at it or anything. And so I played it again last year because I'm like, I'll do the retrospective this time around, and I just never got around to it. And so yeah, Spider-Man 3 is just one of those games that I've just played a lot and just kind of probably overanalyzed at this point. But at some point I will make a retrospective for this, and of course the other Tobey Maguire games. I actually have only played, I've touched each of the like Spider-Man 1 and Spider-Man 2 because I'm pretty sure my dad had those on the Xbox, but I've probably briefly played Spider-Man for the first Spider-Man, and then Spider-Man 2, I did not understand the concept of saving, so I played the beginning of it like so many times, it's not even funny. And so Spider-Man 3, this is actually I think the first game I ever beat. This is one my dad got for his 360, but then at some point we traded it in, and then we had, see, I was in Texas at the time, so I think we had a Hollywood Video. I think Blockbuster was still there, but Hollywood Videos where I think that's the establishment. That's where we went to a lot to rent our stuff. And so this one I rented probably a couple times, ended up beating it one of those times, and I was just really like super happy about that. And so yeah, Spider-Man 3 has a really weird place in my gaming history. Like first game I beat, and I've just played it so many times, and yeah, dude, I'll get around to like covering this one day on the channel. That is like, that's a guarantee. I think the main reason, so the collector's edition, that's just the version I happened to find. I think the main difference between like the regular one is you play as New Goblin right off the bat. I think that's it. And I don't know if this is like specific to the collector's edition, but you get like a bunch of like additional bonus features and whatnot. So there's also that. But yeah, I mean, other than that, you know, Spider-Man 3 is a fine game. It's done like, I don't know, I'll just say it's a fine game. And now we get to some of the, well, not really, because I got these like pretty early on, but some of the, hold on, some of the early, or not early, but some of the more expensive Spider-Man games if you're trying to get them today, which in starting off, we have Shattered Dimensions. For my money, this is definitely one of the better Spider-Man games to come out from the PS3 360 era. Just I think the whole concept of playing as different Spider-Men is like really interesting. This is really like the first instant, well, not the first, but one of the first major instances of a multiverse in, I guess, Spider-Man media. Before, you know, Miles Morales kind of blew that up, and just the whole MCU multiverse stuff kind of blew it out the water. It was nice to just have something kind of small, something self-contained between just 4 different Spider-Man, 4 mostly well-known Spider-Man. The only one I think was new at the time was Spider-Man Noir. But Ultimate, Amazing, 2099, those were all pretty much established for a while. And so just being able to play as all of them in one game was pretty cool, pretty neat. And this was another one of those blockbuster joints I got, you know, and then just it got on my radar. I ended up getting it that Christmas. And I mean, yeah, I never, so when I get the trophies, it says I didn't finish this because I didn't get the trophy for finishing the game the first time, but I feel like I did. I like vividly remember playing through a good chunk of the game. And I mean, why would I start Edge of Time if I didn't finish this? You know what I mean? And so, yeah, I don't know how that happened, but I mean, we got the platinum a couple years ago. This is another one of those games that I covered pretty early on in the channel. Funny story, I actually, that's my second version of the Shattered Dimensions video. I made one back when I first started on YouTube, like in like 2020, 2021. And so, to be honest, that script is pretty much the same script that I had the first time, just kind of beefed it up beefed up some aspects of it, included more of my platinum journey with it. And so, yeah, one of my first videos, I actually really like that video a lot. I watch it every now and then. I find it to be pretty good, to me, in my opinion. I made the video. But yes, Shattered Dimensions is one of the better Spider-Man games, really just in general, but one that came out during that generation. And of course, if you try to get it now, because none of the Spider-Man games are like listed, like you can't find these digital, so your only real luck is gonna be eBay. And to be honest, good luck with that, because I'm pretty sure, I think whenever most like new Spider-Man media comes out, they usually jack up in price. But just in general, I feel like it's nowadays the PS3 version more so than the 360 version. I've noticed that that's a trend recently. But yeah, if you're trying to get this, good luck to you, man, because you're gonna have a hard time. I was lucky enough to still find this at GameStop when they were, you know, selling them. I'm pretty sure this was probably one of the more expensive games at the time. It was probably 25 bucks, but I mean, compared to what it is now, that's really not that bad. Same case with Edge of Time. I'm pretty sure I got this the same time I got Shattered Dimensions. First time I did play it though, this was one of those games I got during Christmas. And like I just said, I'm pretty sure I played this like right after Shattered Dimensions. And at the time, I love the game. I really did. Playing it more recently, I still enjoy the game. There are definitely more flaws that I realized than like, I did back then. But I still find it to be a fun superhero game. It's really it just kind of sucks because Beanox was really like put on crunch mode after Shattered Dimensions because they had to do this, then they had to do Amazing Spider-Man, and then Amazing Spider-Man 2 like back to back to back. And so it probably just like split everything up. So because this game, this is easily, I've said this, multiple people on YouTube have said this is easily one of the best written Spider-Man games to have come out. It's just a shame that they didn't have more time to really flesh out some of those ideas that they like laid out, because this is like a really, again, really interesting concept of like being able to manipulate stuff in the past to affect the future and vice versa. And so yeah, I feel like not Shattered Dimensions, Edge of Time, if Edge of Time was given more time, pun intended, I definitely think this could have been another banger Spider-Man game from Beanox. It's just a shame they just did not have the time. This is another one I picked up, I just said picked up from GameStop. Trying to think, played this back in, what was it, 2023, the beginning of 2023, and made that video in May. I definitely think it's one of my better retrospectives. It's one of my more well-written retrospectives, I think. And I remember at the time it kind of blew up because this was like so unintentional. I released it probably a week before the second Spider-Man movie. I think, was it Beyond the Spider-Verse, the second one, whenever that came out? I think it just kind of hit at that time, and so that kind of blew up, and so I was like a little surprised with that. And so yeah, Edge of Time, another, it's a good Spider-Man game, not great, not terrible, of course. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it for what it was, but I can definitely recognize that there could have been more to it. And lastly, this is probably the most expensive game I've bought on the PS3, like ever since I got it. Spider-Man Web of Shadows. I know a lot of you are probably like, oh my god, he has Spider-Man Web of Shadows. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know, I might be getting two in my head there, but yeah, Web of Shadows, dude, let me tell you, I had to pay a pretty penny to get this. I guess going back to when I first got it on the Wii back in, I don't know, 2008, 2009. And it's essentially the same thing as the Web of Shadow, or not the PS3 version. It's just, this one has prettier graphics and whatnot. And so, a few years ago, when I went to go, because I really wanted to buy it, I ended up getting the Wii version. I played it for like a little bit, and I'm like, this ain't hitting like it should be. And so I waited and I waited and I waited to find like a good deal on this, and it was not happening. And so one time I kind of got like more money, because I was working, I was in college, but I got money from college. And one time I got paid from my job, and I got money from school, and then I also got money back from my income taxes that year. And I'm like, you know what, let's look again. And so I check eBay, I see this is like probably the cheapest copy is maybe $80-$90. I'm like, we're buying it. So I bought it. So yeah, definitely one of the more expensive games in my gaming collection here for the PS3 at least. Because yeah, I don't know what it is, Web of Shadows, man. I think maybe because combination of things, this was, I think, the last Spider-Man game that Shaba Games made before they got shut down by Activision. I think when people look back on it, they say it's like one of the better Spider-Man games when it comes to combat, and I can definitely agree. I played for maybe 5 or 6 hours this when I first got it, and yeah, the combat in this is definitely like, it holds up. It really does. And I don't know, I think what really holds the game back is probably the story. The actor for Peter Parker, I'll be honest, not my favorite actor. I don't know the name off the top of my head, but just he doesn't really sell the whole Spider-Man thing for me. But yeah, I think the whole idea of being able to switch back and forth, I mean, it's basically like Mass Effect for Spider-Man, I guess. It's not as deep as Mass Effect. That's just like a comparison I can make, because you make choices, and one choice puts you more towards good Peter, another one bad Peter, and you get more symbiote stuff. I don't know, it's just, that's how I phrase it. But yeah, definitely my most expensive Spider-Man game in the collection, and one, again, whenever I get to this Spider-Man series, probably the one I'm looking forward to the most, because I only have like a very little bit of experience with this, and just so many people hold it up in like high regard, and so it'd just be very interesting to like actually play it and see how well it holds up, I guess. And so yeah, $90, bro. Just crazy, crazy, bro. Moving on, we have Split Second, a racing game that I played back when I was a young lad. 10, 11, maybe, something like that. A high octane racing game. I just find the whole like premise of it really cool. You're just racing, and when you get enough points, you can like blow up stuff to destroy other cars in the race and whatnot. It's so fun. And there's a weird one that came from Disney. And it's like, I guess BlackRock Studios the one that made it, but Disney Interactive is the one, I guess, who published it. And it's just like, dude, crazy, crazy, crazy. Like, I seriously want to play this one day, because I just have such fond memories of playing this as a kid, and just how like insane some of the stunts can get. It's crazy. But yeah, I got this like for 12 bucks and really good find. And so yeah, I definitely want to check this out again one day. Another game that I don't have too much history with myself, but I did play back in the day, SSX. I know this series dates back PS1, maybe earlier than that. I don't know for sure. But yeah, the only reason I got this, because again, this is another game my dad got for his Xbox 360. He probably played this when he was probably younger. Well, not this one specifically, but just SSX in general when he was younger. And I'll be honest, dude, this game slaps. It really does. Like I haven't played the PS3 version since I got it, but I remember playing it back on the 360, and just like, it was so crazy, the stuff you can pull off on the snowboard, like different modes. Like there's an avalanche mode where you're just racing down a mountain with the avalanche behind you. And I mean, it's pretty much just Tony Hawk but with skate or snowboards, and it can get really like really crazy. Like I was just looking X-Play, interesting. X-Play best of E3. G4TV.com, man, a relic. I actually never watched D4 when I was younger. I didn't watch it until they did the like when they brought it back a few years ago before it got shut down again. But anyway, yeah, SSX, a fun sport. I'm not a big sports game person, but some of them I really do mess with. SSX is one of them. Split Second's another. Tony Hawk, I don't have any like for the PS3 right now, but I definitely mess with Tony Hawk, of course. So yeah, the SSX, a fun ass video game. Now we get to our Star Wars stuff. Not too many actually, but one of the early ones that I got, Star Wars: The Clone Wars, Republic Heroes. This came out either 2000, I think I'm gonna say 2009, and this was a birthday gift that I got in 2009. Thank you, Mom. And playing it now, this does not hit. I played it last year. Yeah, last year for the May the 4th video that I did, and I tried my best to get into this. I tried my best to try and get all the platinums for all this, and I just did not. I did not vibe with it at all. I did not enjoy it. It was just not. It was not fun at all. I don't know, man. It just did not. It did not do it for me. But I mean, of course, when I was a kid, you know, I don't really like. I look past all those flaws. This is one of the games I played probably every morning before I went to school. I knock out a level because they're not super long to get through. But yeah, dude, it did not do it for me. I'm playing it recently. I would like to try and get the platinum, but to be honest, I don't know how feasible it's going to be, because you have to play through the entire game in co-op, I think, and then you have to do a speed run of the game. It's just like, I don't know if I want to do all that. I really don't. And so yeah, I just remember at the time when I was playing this, my life was just super hectic. I knew I was not going to finish this in time, but for the May the 4th video, which I wanted to get on May the 4th, and I had to drop it because I'm like, I'm not having fun with this, and I'm not going to be able to finish everything I need to do before I want to get the video out. So maybe one day I'll revisit it. What sucks too is like, there's just insane quality here too, because you have all the actors from the show reprising their roles for the video game, and it's just like, this should be a knockout. This should be a banger video game. It's just not. It just does not do it for me, which is a shame, because yeah, the talent's there, the art's like it's just all there, but just the whole like the gameplay aspect, even like just slicing and dicing through droids is fun. It really it is fun. But like the traversal and just all the other stuff, all the jank, it really bogs the game down. But again, one that I'm glad I have in my collection. This is a childhood classic. I'm just glad I have it. I'm pretty sure I probably got it from eBay, to be honest. But I mean, I'm glad it's here. But will I ever play it? I don't know. Now we got one of my favorite games of all time. I'll say that. Star Wars: The Force Unleashed. It'll focus. Will you focus? Yes. Hocus Pocus. Pizza. Yeah. Force Unleashed. Yeah, if there's one game that defines me as a person, as a gamer, it'll be The Force Unleashed. I have played this game so many times. I have played it on so many versions. So let's run it back. I got on the Wii. That's how I first played it. My dad got on his 360. I also played on the 360. I had it on my PS3 when this was the first game I got on my PS3 when I eventually got one. So PS3. I also got it on my PSP. So that's 4. I also have it on my PC. So that's 5. I played this game on 5 different consoles. The only one I have not played it on is DS. And like there's a phone version, but I ain't messing with that. Force Unleashed, this is my Star Wars game. Like, man, my stuff's all over there. I have like so much Starkiller stuff. I have a Starkiller action figure. I have a Funko Pop. I have a statue of him way back there next to the shepherds. Force Unleashed, I freaking love the Force Unleashed. I don't care what anyone says. I know like there's a lot of people like, oh, it's not good stuff. I don't care. I do not care. I love this game so much. And like I said, this was one of the first games I got for the PS3. And of course, I eventually traded it in for something. And then I got the Ultimate Sith Edition one Christmas, traded that one in too. And so I got this one on eBay not too long ago. Well, I say not too long ago. It was back in like 2020, 2021, 22 maybe. And of course, I had to get the Platinum because one of my favorite games of all time. Of course, I'm going to platinum the game. And I've seen some interesting takes, notably from Mayor Hairbear, from when he platinumed the game. And I don't know, maybe I have to platinum it again to like see if it was really that bad. But I mean, I love this game. So I don't really have anything bad to say about it, even if the platinum might not be the best. The one thing I will criticize though is with the DLC trophies. And so Ultimate Sith Edition, the Steelbook case comes with all the DLC. So you got the Hoth DLC, the Tatooine DLC, and the Jedi Temple DLC. The one thing that sucks is that the Jedi Temple DLC, there's difficulty trophies for that. They don't stack, even though I think the ones in the base game do stack, it's just very weird. I didn't realize that at the time, and so I had to play through the Jedi Temple DLC like multiple times. It was really annoying. That's like the only nitpick I have with that. But other than that, I mean, this is I cannot like gush anymore about this. This is my favorite, easily. I don't want to say the best. I think from the Star Wars games I have played, the best one in my opinion is Jedi Survivor. I still wholeheartedly believe that, but this is definitely my favorite Star Wars game. Easy, no question about it. Let me see. Pop the case open. We got this Emperor Palpatine card. I remember that. Card 3 of 10. I wonder what the other ones are. And then of course, on the inside you have him in his armor, which is pretty cool. But yeah, dude, I mean, I love the Force hold on, let me put the card back in. I love the Force Unleashed. Simple as that. Boom. Boom. And then we get to Force Unleashed 2. Not super fond of this one. I will admit, I'm not super fond of this one. It's still a fun game to play through, but yeah, not as strong as the Force Unleashed. I'm trying to think. Remember, this is a day one purchase. I think this was like, aside from Arkham City and maybe a couple other games, I was super hyped for this one. I remember watching all the trailers, all the commercials. Funny enough, what's so funny is I was grounded. So this came out and I was in the 4th grade. I remember I was grounded because I was making bad grades, and I was just like my dad. I remember we were eating dinner one time. It was at Buffalo Wild Wings, and there was a Force Unleashed trailer that came on. He's like, you better get ungrounded before this comes out, because he knew how excited I was. He was excited for it too. And so Long story short, I did get my grades up, and so I was ungrounded in time for this to come out. I think this maybe came out a few days after my birthday, and so I remember being super hyped about it. I like rushed through my homework when I got home, booted this up, and let me tell you, back in 2011, if I did not have a bedtime, I would have finished this in one day. I would have finished this in one sitting. That's how short this game is. This game is at least a good 6, 7, maybe 8 hours if you're taking your time. This game is not long at all. And so, mom, dad, this is just my apology here for having you guys drop $60 for a game that I finished in like 6 hours. I just, dude, it's like, what were they doing, man? They had the sauce. They had the formula, man. They could have easily made a banger game, a banger sequel, and they just kind of fumbled the bag. Now, don't get me wrong, combat and stuff, top tier. I definitely think it's like the combat is super strong in this game. That is without a question. Having the 2 lightsabers, come on, bro. But yeah, the story wise, it's the story. I wouldn't even go as far as say like the story is that bad, because there are some interesting concepts here, like the whole point, like the whole clone, like can you clone Jedi or whatnot. That's an interesting idea. The game just doesn't really do anything to expound upon that idea. It's just like, I played this back in, I think back when I played Force Unleashed to get the platinum, because I got the platinum in this one as well, obviously. One of the main like taglines when you're starting the game is like, will he find his destiny, or like will he find out the truth or whatnot. And it's just like, it doesn't even answer its own question. We never know if this is like the clone version of Starkiller or if this is the actual Starkiller. I'm pretty sure this is the clone, because if you actually dig and look into like some concept art or like behind the scenes, which is what I did when I recently played this, the clone version of Starkiller does see like, I guess, the original host body of Starkiller. So in my head, I'm pretty sure, even though it's not canon anymore, if this was canon, Starkiller is dead, so this is just a clone. I'm pretty confident. Fun fact, I have tried to make like a little short, like animated short for The Force Unleashed, like my vision of what The Force Unleashed 3 would be. So I mean, there's that. Just want to throw that out there. But yeah, Force Unleashed 2, not my favorite Star Wars game. A fun Star Wars game that I will replay on occasion, but definitely one that could have done better if they just have more time. I feel that's just that's just how it is with all these games. If they have more time, they could have easily done something amazing with this, but unfortunately they just could not do it. And I think this was also the last game that we got under the LucasArts moniker. There are probably some like digital games and whatnot, but yeah, this was like the last big budget LucasArts game that we got before they got shuttered when Disney bought them, which is also a shame. So it's probably another reason why we'll never get The Force Unleashed 3 or just The Force Unleashed anything. And something, yeah, there's that. There's The Force Unleashed 3 or Force Unleashed 2. Guys, I wish they would make a Force Unleashed 3, but no, that's probably never gonna happen. But if they do, hey man, I'm buying the most expensive version of that possible. That's for sure. That takes care of the S's, so we move on to the letter T. And the first one that I'm going to talk about is Terminator Salvation. Another one of those blockbuster joints that I rented. This was over the summer when I rented it. I do remember seeing the movie with my dad, but I don't remember it too well. I just remember there was a lady sitting next to it the whole time that kept saying, "Oh shit," like every like 10 minutes or whatever. But yeah, Terminator Salvation, I actually did get the platinum for this recently for a challenge. I have coming up soon, whenever at the time I'm making this. And so a short game, I literally finished this in like 4 or 5 hours. So yeah, I definitely think if I bought it at the time, I would have been disappointed, because the pre-owned price, oh, if you can see that, it's $40. So I do imagine this was a full price title at the time. And yeah, if I had paid $60 for something that only lasted like 4 or 5 hours, I definitely would have been upset. But when I only had to pay $8.90, not a terrible deal. But yeah, so honestly, if I be honest, the story is really nothing revolutionary or anything. The gameplay though did surprise me a little bit. Like the AI, while not perfect, there are some like AI moments that I think are actually really interesting and really cool. You can do this in co-op, so it's definitely, I think, recommended, I would say, to play in co-op. But I played in single player all the way. It felt fine. Like I did think there were some cool co-op moments to be had, even though I played it alone. And so Yeah, Terminator Salvation, you know, okay video game, okay movie. It is what it is. This one I still have wrapped up in plastic, but we have Thor, God of Thunder. Let me actually take it out because it's hard to see. If you have Gore, Thor, God of Thunder. This is another one of those games another one of those movie tie-in games. The case is broken right there. I can't close it. But yeah, this is another one of those movie tie-in games it came out at a time when I just wasn't really into movie tie-in games, but I remember, seeing it, hearing about it, whatever. And so I got this one recently, back in maybe April or something, March, April, when I had the plans this was the same time when I got Iron Man for the 360, and I also got Incredible Hulk for the 360 as well. And so I just figured I'd go ahead and get Thor, complete that. So I have all like the phase 1 movie tie-in MCU games, and so we're just gonna have to find time to play those. I think out of all of them, people say this one is the worst, and so it'll be interesting to see when that comes out. I actually don't mind the Thor, this Thor movie at least. Thor's just not really like my favorite character, to be honest, when it comes to like the MCU and all that, because I'm being like Thor, I enjoy Thor I think more than most, but like Thor 2 is not, I don't think, anyone's favorite. Ragnarok, I enjoy Ragnarok. I will say I do enjoy that. And then the last one that came out, God and Thunder, I don't know. I don't know what they're doing with that, but yeah, interested to check this one out. I really have a soft spot for phase 1 MCU stuff. So yeah, we'll get to that at some point. Next up is Time Shift. I honestly have no idea what this is. I have no idea why I even bought this. Maybe because it was only $6.95, and that's pretty much it. This might be an easy platinum. I have no idea. I don't know if I'm imagining there's multiplayer in this, but yeah, I don't know anything about this game, so I can't really say much there. Then we have some Transformers games. Transformers the game. Don't have too much history with this one. I do remember playing it, I think on my Nintendo Wii when I was a kid. I never had the PS3 version, Xbox DS versions of the game, and so don't really have too much to say here. I do remember playing like the beginning, I guess. You're playing as Bumblebee in the city. There's a little animation of him changing, which is kind of cool on the box. I just realized it's broken too. But I mean, yeah, I'd imagine it just follows the story of the movie, maybe. We'll see. I never played it. Revenge of the Fallen, though, I did play a chunk of this one. I do remember some of the open world stuff. Interesting story with this one too. This is another one that I got from Blockbuster, but the way I got it is funny. And so at the time I was playing Little League football, and I remember there was one, it was like an actual game and not a practice. And I guess I just wasn't as aggressive as I needed to be. And so at some point we went to the sideline, my mom pulled me over to the side, and she was like, if you pick that kid up and you toss him on the ground, you'll get a game from Blockbuster. And bro, my neurons activated. That next play, I picked someone up and I slammed his ass to the ground. And so he went to Blockbuster. I picked up Revenge of the Fallen, baby. And so, yeah, dude, I played this. Not too much of this, to be honest. And I just got it again because, I mean, PS3 games, $9.50, not too bad of a price there. I cannot get the platinum for this, unfortunately, because this one does have multiplayer, and I do not think the servers are still active. I can say for a fact they're not active. And so, yeah, I would like to revisit it one day, though, just because, I don't know, Transformers, they're really kind of coming up. And so for me, personally, I'm more of a fan of the Gen 1 Transformers, and the game I'm gonna get to next really helped like form that opinion. Because yeah, I'm not like the biggest fan nowadays of the Michael Bay Transformers, and especially Revenge of the Fallen. This one is just, I don't care what anyone says, this is just straight trash, dude. The movie, at least. The only good scene in that movie is the forest scene. That is it. And so, yeah, it'll be interesting to play this, because I only rented it from Blockbuster one time. I didn't play too much of it, so I don't really know what I'm getting myself into. But yeah, it should be, I'd imagine it'd be fun time, you know. I don't have Dark in the Moon, unfortunately, but that is one I also rented from Blockbuster, and surprisingly, I did finish that over a weekend. And so, yeah, at least I finished one Transformers game, that's for sure. And then next up, we have two that I think nowadays are pretty expensive, but at the time, again, I got these from GameStop, so they weren't too bad. Transformers War for Cybertron and Transformers Fall of Cybertron. Starting with War of Cybertron, this is again one of those games my dad got on his 360. He grew up with the Gen 1 Transformers, so I'm pretty sure this was a no-brainer for him to get. But yeah, I remember playing it. I don't know if I finished. I don't know if I finished this one. I really don't. I do remember they have it like the story split. So like one half you can play as the Autobots, and then another half you can play as the Decepticons. Oh man, I don't remember finishing this one. I really don't. If I did, I don't remember if I did it on the 360 or the PS3. I don't know. It's been so long. But yeah, I do remember playing a decent chunk of this, and I had a fun time with it. But I had a lot more fun with Fall of Cybertron. This was one my dad definitely got this one on his 360 because I remember that's where I finished it. And I don't remember the structure. I know this one didn't do the like split structure like the first one did. I'm pretty sure this one is just more of a straightforward Transformers game. I think the main selling point of this one too is you can play as the is it the Dinobots? I don't know like the correct terminology there, but you can play as like the dinosaur Transformers and stuff, which I thought was pretty cool. I did finish this one. If I were to go back on my 360, I remember if you finished it as the Autobots and as the Decepticons, you get the gamer score for that. But you also get like a helmet to go on your 360 avatar, which I thought was pretty cool. But yeah, I definitely want to revisit these two games at some point in the future. Can't get the trophies because again, multiplayer trophies, I believe the servers for these are down, but there have been rumors that these are coming back in the future. I don't really remember like what's going on there. But yeah, rumors are rumoring, so maybe one day these will come back, and if they do, like maybe like a port or a remaster or something, the platinum, like this, if they bring the multiplayer back, then there's another chance that we can get the platinum for these. Who knows? But yeah, Transformers Fall of Cybertron, this one and War for Cybertron are probably easily without a doubt some of the best Transformers games that we've gotten, and I really do enjoy these games. This one I remember finishing this one at least, and so yeah, I remember having a lot of fun with this one. Next up is a game I'm surprised I actually never finished. The stickers are all over the place, so it's kind of hard to see, but Tron Evolution. One thing that I'm going to make very clear in the future video, I freaking love Tron Legacy. I love Tron in general, but Tron Legacy is like one of my favorite movies of all time. I've seen that movie. I watched that movie so many times when I was a kid. There's a magic to it when I watch it nowadays still that I love. And so I have a soft spot for Tron Legacy, but Tron Evolution I actually never played, surprisingly. I got this back again from GameStop for $5, and I played for like a little bit when I first got it, and that's about it. I do plan on playing this in the next couple of weeks or so because I'm on a Tron kick. I just saw Ares yesterday. I thought it was good. You know, I won't go further than that because that's not what the video is about. But yeah, I've been on a Tron kick. I recently played Tron 2.0 on PC, and this is just like the next one that I need to play. And so I'm definitely looking forward to playing this. I do intend on getting the platinum for this. I do believe the multiplayer servers are still up, and since Tron Ares is out, I'm pretty sure it probably popping a little bit, maybe. I could be wrong there, but yeah, I've actually never played, I never played it. I remember my uncle, it was one Christmas, my uncle did get me the one for the PSP, but it's not the same game, which is another weird, well, not super weird when I think about it now, but yeah, just another one of those games where I thought the PSP version was going to be the same as this one, but it wasn't, and I was kind of mad about that. But yeah, Tron Evolution, I'm definitely going to play this pretty soon, but that's for sure. All right, we are getting pretty close to the end here. Wow, I never noticed that. Next game I got is Twisted Metal. I know this version. I know this series goes way back to like PS1, PS2 generation. I think PS2 generation, and I remember this one was coming out in 2012, and it looked pretty cool. And so I'm just like, "Oh, Dad, can I get this game?" And he got it for me. I actually, now that I think about it, hold on. Yeah, 2012. I was wondering if I got this as a Christmas gift, but I don't think so. I actually do think we got this on day one, and so, um, yeah, there. I did play a good chunk of this at the time. I eventually did trade it in for, I think it was Mortal Kombat on the Vita. I did trade it in. I remember trying to finish it before I traded it in, but I never did. And I remember the combat, like the actual gameplay of it is fine. I don't know how a lot of like Twisted Metal fans feel about this game. I'm just not in the Twisted Metal like fan, like the community or whatever. So I don't know like what the vibe is with this one. But I mean, from what I played, I thought it was fine. Of course, some of the imagery kind of, I guess it did maybe creep me out a little bit when I was a kid. I just remember like the intro, like when you first start the game, the menu, it's just Sweet Tooth's face. It's just like big and like in front of you. It's a little creepy even now playing it. But yeah, I thought it was a fun game. I believe this one is another multiplayer game. I believe the trophies, like you can't get the multiplayer trophies in this, which is another shame. But I mean, it won't stop me from playing these games. Just because I can't get all the trophies in it, doesn't mean I'm not going to play it. It's just kind of suck not being able to get the platinum. But I mean, I think being able to get majority of the trophies in the game is better than just not playing it. You know what I mean? And so Twisted Metal is one of those games. At some point, I would like to play the earlier Twisted Metal games, especially with the show coming out and everything. And then I guess just gradually move my way up to this one. But yeah, I mean, this is another one I trade. Like I just said, I traded this one in, but I picked it up again, 1550, not bad. And I mean, yeah, Twisted Metal, man. Yeah. Next up we have, I think this is 2. Yeah, stickers in the way. But Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2. I'll be honest, I never played the Ultimate Alliance games. This is kind of still before my time. It's a little blurry right now. I'm trying to get focus. Focus. Okay, that's good enough. But yeah, I think Ultimate Alliance was still ahead of my time a little bit. This one, I'm pretty sure it was a PS2, but then, came out around the time of the PS3, so I got ported to PS3. But I would like to check these out. The only time I think what really put it on my radar was when Ultimate Alliance 3 came out on the Nintendo Switch. That's really like the main way that I know about this game, main way I heard about the game. And so I saw this at GameStop randomly one day. It was only 20 bucks. So I just got it, and I would like to get the first one at some point, give that a try. Funny enough, I think this one is also, if I'm correct, I think this is on PS4. I remember looking at something on PSN profiles not too long ago, and I just remember seeing this listed for the PS4. I'm like, I didn't know this was a PS4 game, but I think it was just digital for some time. Same with like Transformers, the War and the Fall of Cybertron games. Those were on PS4 digitally for a short time. I don't know what the deal was with that, but yeah, it's just very interesting. I mean, I don't really know. I don't really have much to say about these. I never played them. I don't really know what the main premise is. I know you play co-op, but that's about it. And I mean, yeah, that's kind of it. If you have any memories of this, just feel free to put them in the comments. We're like 3 hours in, if you're still watching at this point. And then we have Uncharted 1, Drake's Fortune. I feel like this is just a must-have on the PS3. I did play a ton of this. My dog's barking if you can hear him. But I did play a ton of this when I was a kid. I remember because I remember Uncharted 3, that got put on my radar because of the IGN reviews. I remember IGN gave it like a 10 out of 10, and that just really put on my radar. And so I remember that Christmas, I got the whole trilogy, and I played them like back to back to back. I fell in love with Uncharted then. And so this is the only PS3 one that I do have, just because this is the only one that you can still get the platinum in. The other ones have multiplayer trophies, and of course, servers are down for that, so you can't get the platinum for Uncharted 2 and 3, at least on PS3. But yeah, this is the only one, and so just one of these days, I'm gonna go back, get the platinum for this, and also get the platinum for the PS4 version, because I do have the what's the Nathan Drake collection, I think. And I mean, I just feel like it's just kind of a essential you need to have, Then after that, we kind of we don't have much left. We only have like 6 games, but some of these are weird ones. I will say that. We have The Walking Dead Survival Instinct. Another one of those bad video games that I just happened to get. So the reason I got this back in I think 2023. This is when that Walking Dead Destinies game came out on PS5, and I'll be like, you know, it'd be kind of funny to have a Walking Dead video where I cover like the bad Walking Dead games, because there's this one and then there's Destinies and whatnot. And I think what's interesting about this one is that you actually do play as Norman Reedus' character. It's been so long since I watched the show, so I don't even know their names. I think it was Daryl. That sounds about right. Daryl and his brother. I don't think he plays his brother, but he's just in the game, and they're voiced by the actors from the show, which is pretty cool. This came out in 2013, and so we were still kind of at the height of its popularity, so it kind of makes sense that you would get them back. And I mean, I feel like it'd be easier at the time to get them back as well compared to now. But I mean, yeah, I hear it's not so good of a game. You're playing as Norman Reedus as first person. You're kind of going around the countryside, I guess, finding survivors. Let's see, scavenge supplies, choose to survive and live with the consequences. Meryl's his brother's name. I didn't know that. And this takes place before the show, so that's all interesting. One of these days I'll get around to it, just like I will with Walking Dead Destinies. So yeah, there's that. I fell off The Walking Dead like a long time ago. Even after Glenn died, spoilers for a show that's been out for a while. Even after he died, I was still watching for maybe like 2 more seasons, and then I just fell off. And then they have so many spin-offs of these shows now. There's a show focusing solely on Daryl and the one girl, I don't remember. Again, it's been so long, so I don't even remember these people's names in the show. But I mean, yeah, dude. One day I'll get around to this, and I'll also get around to some more Walking Dead games, because there are some interesting Walking Dead games. I had a VR one not too long ago that was pretty fun to play through. So yeah, interesting stuff with Walking Dead. Next one we have is Wet. I don't know what prompted me to buy this. I got it off eBay, and that's about it. Some of the gameplay stuff, I played like maybe 15 minutes of it. It does seem cool. Looking at the box art, and I've seen like some reviews of it, it does seem like cool gameplay wise. It's just, I don't know if the story has some substance to it. But I mean, the box art's pretty cool. You know, just take off that sticker. But I mean, interesting game. Don't know too much about it, but you know, one of these days, like I've said like a dozen times in this video, I will check it out. I'm just curious about what was in the manual. I think this was another, yeah, I don't think it's on the box. Oh, it is on the box. Let me show. Bethesda Softworks, another one of those games. Bethesda was really like experimenting in the 2000s. That is for sure. This came out in 2009. I was just curious. So yeah, that's Wet. This one is hilarious, bro. Wheel of Fortune. So let me tell you, like the last like 2 years, I've gotten so into Wheel of Fortune. Like there's a routine we have every night. So every night we watch the nightly news at 6:30, and then we watch Jeopardy at 7, and then 7:30 kind of like a wild card. For a while we would watch Family Feud, but now we've been putting on Wheel of Fortune, and dude, I get into it so heavy. Like I've just been into Wheel of Fortune so much. So one night when I was watching, I was like, is there a game for Wheel of Fortune? Because I had like an app on my phone that I would play, but I'm like, is there an actual game of Wheel of Fortune? And I saw this, and I think I checked, there is multiplayer, but I did check to see if I could get the platinum. I think I can, but I just saw this, and I'm like, I have to have it. I have to get it. And so, yeah, we have Wheel of Fortune. Now, when am I gonna deal with this in like video wise? I have zero idea, but I would love to cover this for the channel one day, and we're gonna make it happen. We are going to make that happen. I don't know how, I don't know when, but we're gonna do it, because I have become so obsessed with Wheel of Fortune. It's not even funny, dude. Like, not last night, but Friday night, I was getting into that episode pretty heavy, man. It was so like, it's just crazy. Another thing, this is a goal of mine. I don't know how serious I'm gonna be about it, but one day, I would like to be on Wheel of Fortune. I'm gonna go ahead and say it right now. I would like to be on. We're gonna make it happen, bro. We are gonna do it. Wolfenstein: The New Order. I have the PS4 version of Wolfenstein: The New Order. That's the one I primarily played. I got it back in 2014 during the summer, and that was one of those games that I just did not have. One of the only games I had, so played the heck out of that. That's one of the first games where I really got into like going out of my way to find extra stuff, find all the collectibles and everything. And so I do have the PS4 version still. I got the platinum for it like 2 years ago, because I just had to like clean up some stuff at that point. But last year was the 10-year anniversary for Wolfenstein, and I knew I wanted to cover it on the channel in some shape, some fashion. And I was deep into the trophy stuff at the time. And so I got the PS4 version again, or PS3 version, and so essentially it is the same game as the PS4 version. Of course, it's just not as prettier as that, but what really held this back for me were the load times. Because as I mentioned in my Wolfenstein video, I could be in the loading screen for anywhere from like 15 to 30, maybe 40 seconds in some cases. And see, I was playing the game on the hard difficulty, and so I knew I was going to die a lot, and so I did not want to constantly have to sit in the loading screen for that long. And so I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not playing this. So I only have maybe 5 trophies in this. I might go back to this one day because I know there is a cheese you can do to play or get the trophy for finishing on the hardest difficulty. But yeah, that might just be like a future, like off the record, like I don't record anything. But yeah, I love Wolfenstein. I'll talk about this more whenever I do like the PS4 video or PS4 games and stuff. But I mean, yeah, that's the reason I have the PS3 version of Wolfenstein. The last 2 games have to do with X-Men, and the first one is X-Men Destiny. This is another, who made this game? Who made this? Silicon Knights. I've heard a little bit about this from like videos I've seen on YouTube, but yeah, this is another one of those like not so good X-Men games. I'm pretty sure, I think it was this and 2 Human. It was those 2 games that really sunk the studio, and this was just, you know, just happened to be collateral, I guess. I don't really know where I'm going with it, but yeah, I'm aware it's just not the greatest X-Men game, but I saw it was $15.25, so I just got it. I haven't played it, but you know, it would be fun. I think when Wolverine's coming out, that might be when I consider playing it, because yeah, just, you know, it's interesting stuff. Platinum seems like, you know, straightforward, no multiplayer or anything, no co-op, single player. I just know the gimmick is like you're creating your own X-Men character, and you're deciding whether or not you want to fight for this, like Charles' side, which is like the Cyclops Wolverine, or Magneto, which is the Sentinel. I think Juggernaut, yeah, Juggernaut, Mystique. Is that Cable? No, I don't know who that is. I have no idea. But yeah, again, interesting premise there. I don't know what happened. Like, I don't know how they fumbled the bag with this one, but I guess, you know, only one way to find out, and that's to play it. And for the final game that I have on my PS3, at least physical at least, is X-Men Origins Wolverine. Played this one not too long ago. Was it last year? It was last year. We got the platinum for this one when they were doing Deadpool and Wolverine. A fun game. This is one I played the demo of a ton when I was a kid, and then my cousins, they had it on the 360. I remember watching one of them play it, and then I got this one. I got this a few years ago on eBay. I mentioned this in the video, but I did get this one a few years ago on eBay when I was still like I was just buying games for the PS3 and PS2, but this one was just one of them that I got, and it's a fun one. It's a fun one, I will admit. I had a lot of fun playing X-Men Origins Wolverine. I think compared to, I played it like right after Deadpool, and I had a much better time with this one. The only thing that really holds it back is when, at least trophy-wise, is having to play the game again on hard, because this was before we had New Game Plus. And now that I realize, I think the trophies got patched in, because if you look at that top, let me pull up another one just to. So yeah, if you like know your PS3 stuff, usually you'll see the trophies. If I can get focused right there, where it says add-on content and trophies. This one just has add-on content, no trophies. So they probably got patched in at some point, which is kind of cool to think about. But yeah, X-Men Origins Wolverine, fun game. I'm glad I picked it up when I did, because I'm pretty sure if I were to try and get it when Deadpool and Wolverine came out, the prices would have been crazy. And so I paid like $50 for this, which I don't think is terrible. And I mean, yeah, fun Wolverine game, fun X-Men game. Yeah, that's it. And that's the last PS3 game that I have to share. Again, this is a long video, so there's a lot of games I had to show off, and so if you're still here, I really do appreciate it. I intend on making one for my PS4 collection and my PS5 collection. It's just there's like some weirdness going on because like some are physical, some are digital, so I'm gonna have to find a way to kind of talk about both of those together. But this was fun. This was fun, kind of looking back, talking about some games that I own and why I got them and just the significance that they hold to me. And so I hope you all enjoyed the video. And I'll see you guys next time. Thanks.